Hello everyone and welcome. This is my beginner's guide to Fallout 4. If you're just getting started, maybe you've played a little bit or you haven't played at all, maybe you're even deciding if you want to buy the game to see if it's something you would like to play, this is a great place to start to get a good introduction to the game. Before we even get into it, I want to go through the main menu here so we can see a lot of the things that people might miss. The first thing I want to show are add-ons. Now these are paid, mostly paid DLCs. Automatron, Wasteland Workshop, For Harbor Contraptions, Vault-Tec Workshop, Nuka World, High Resolution Textures. These are all of them that are available for Fallout 4. They're all good in their own way. Probably the most popular would be Far Harbor. It's considered one of the best DLC stories in any Fallout game. I personally really like Nuka World. The Vault-Tec Workshop is very fun. All of the other workshops have some stuff that helps you with your settlement building, which we'll get into. The Automatron is okay. It's not my favorite, but among these, if you're only going to buy one, I'd say Far Harbor is probably the best one to buy. But usually they have nice, cheap packages to get all of them. Just be aware that a lot of the things you might see in other people's guides might be gated by this DLC. So if you see differences, that you might attribute that to the DLC being missing in your game. Mods. These are mods that are created by the community, and these are free mods that we can install. We have access to all of these, and I can click them, and I can install any of these that I want. Personally, I don't use a lot of mods because I want to make sure that my content is accessible to even people who don't use mods. So most of these are pretty interesting and cool additions, but I don't really use them. Creation Club. Now, Creation Club is another type of mod. These are mods that are created by the community as well, but they are paid. So these cost money. These tokens are represented as real world money. As you can see, I've never bought credits here. I've never bought any of these. However, the cool thing about this is at least part of the money, from what I read, about 25% of the money goes to the creators of the mods. So at least the modders are now getting something for these things. A lot of people have recommendations for fundamental ones. I don't really use any of these either, so if you don't have those, don't worry about it. Now, settings. So this is the big thing, gameplay. I'm going to go ahead and change this, but the difficulty settings, I would say, so it goes very easy, easy, normal, hard, very hard, and survival. Now, survival is kind of interesting because it has different settings specific, like it's missing some. Survival difficulty restricts some of the things you can do in the game. So not only do you take a lot more damage, you also are not able to fast travel on the map, and you're not able to save your game without sleeping. So you only save your game when you sleep, which means there's some risks to traveling around. The other difficulties, you can fast travel in all of them. They basically, each of these just scales the amount of damage you take and the amount of damage you deal. In my opinion, very easy and easy are unplayable because they're so easy it completely trivializes the game and makes it boring. Normal is pretty good. If you're just getting started, there's no shame in playing normal. I would recommend, if you think you're a pretty competent gamer and you enjoy a little bit of a challenge, hard is probably my favorite setting for that. Now, once you start getting into really optimized strategies and you get really good at the game, very hard is my favorite way to play. All the other settings, just leave those. But I'm going to play on hard for this just to demonstrate how it feels to play on my recommended difficulty. Display audio controls. So you'll notice I'm using a keyboard instead of a controller. So anytime I mention a button press, there will be a controller button associated with that. I'll try to show that on the screen so you know which button it is. So that's enough. I think crew is the credits of the game. Don't need to get into that. Let's make a new game. And as we go through this, I'm going to mention I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but I'm going to mention some backstory stuff, some important things that will help you get associated with the game. Now, when this pops up, we're going to get a little cutscene. I'm not going to go through, I'm going to skip the cutscene. I'll let you watch that. but I am going to skip this because I don't want to spoil this opening for you. So please enjoy that on your own. After you get through the cutscene or skip it, you'll be shown this guy who says, "War never changes."
War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
Absolutely. Now get ready and stop hogging the mirror.
Right.
So you'll notice we have a male protagonist, and if I press X on my controller here, I can change to the female protagonist. And basically, whichever one I end up with, that's going to be the character that I play. There's fundamentally no difference between the two in terms of like quest rewards or how the character plays. They're both just as strong. There's no differences in their stats or anything like that. Their backstory is slightly different. The character names in the by the lore are this is Nora, and the male is Nate. So I'll just refer to them as Nate and Nora so it's easier to follow what's going on. Nate is a military veteran. That's the main thing you need to know, because a lot of the interactions he'll mention his military background, so he's been involved in a lot of the fighting that's been going on. Nora is an attorney, I believe, and sometimes that will be brought up if you're playing as Nora. So pick whichever one you like. The customization system is very awesome here. Now, let's say you're playing as Nate. You can still customize Nora and then play as Nate if you want to customize both, yourself and your spouse. It's something you're able to do. So these are the presets. I'm just going to choose a preset here just for demonstration, one that doesn't look terrible. Okay, she's not bad. Okay, now let's go ahead and switch to Nate. And you'll see Nora retains her appearance, meaning even though I'm going to play as Nate, Nora will still look the same. All right, let's go with this guy. He looks pretty grizzled. And now once I'm done, I can change the body type. I can do a lot of cool stuff here. I can make him beefy and large and whatever I want to do. The customization system is pretty decent for this. And you can make some pretty cool looking characters. I won't get too much into that though. So let's go ahead and press enter and finish this up. And now you'll see we're taking control of our protagonist here. Now we're generally going to be in first person. However, we can also go to third person. If you hit the M3, the middle mouse thing, it'll go to third person. You can also scroll in and out, although I don't think you can do that with a controller.
Good morning, sir. Your coffee. 173.5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so this is Codsworth. This is our butler robot. He's a Mr. Handy robot. As you can see, we're currently pre-war here. We got a newspaper, we got a grognak. Nothing you do right now affects anything later in the game, so feel free to wander around, explore, do whatever you want to do, hang out, spin in circles, whatever you feel like doing. Open and close the closet door over and over again. Whatever makes you happy. We're just passing time right now until the next interaction comes in. We'll notice outside we have a Vault Tech van thing? Bus? I don't even know what to call that. And we hear Sean crying. Sean is our son. Let's go take a look at Sean. Now, Sean's appearance will actually be a mix of the parents' appearance. So if you're, it'll try to find a way to mix it as best it can based on the hair color and the skin color. Those are basically the only things. The facial structure doesn't seem to be changed at all, but the hair color and skin color will change depending on the couple. So there's a chance that our Sean could have blonde hair maybe because of Nora. We'll notice now this guy is coming across the street. We can barely see him. There we go. I can jump and kind of see this guy coming across the street. And he is known as the Vault-Tec rep.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Hi.
Good morning.
Isn't it? Just look at that sky out there.
Right.
So I'm going to skip a lot of the dialogue here. But the main thing here is basically he is our character builder. This interaction helps us build our character. So You can try to avoid it, but eventually you will have to go through this. You can add a name, whatever you want. I'll put Dan just to demonstrate something. Now here's where we choose our special stats. We'll get another chance to adjust these in a little bit in case you don't like what you chose or you change your mind. The special stats, as you see, it's S-P-E-C-I-A-L. That's what makes it special. They can go anywhere from 1 to 10. There's no 0 and there's no 11 or anything. And the relevance of each of these stats is that strength will affect your melee damage, so swinging a melee weapon or your fists, and it will also affect your ability to carry things. Perception will affect how accurate you are using VATS, which is a targeting system that I'll introduce you to later. Endurance will increase your health, your HP. Basically, your endurance is applied as a multiplier to your base HP, and your base HP goes up as you level, and your endurance multiplier will add to that, and you'll end up getting a much higher value if you invest in endurance. Endurance also affects how far you can sprint before you run out of energy. You have these things called action points, which you'll see later, and the higher your endurance is, the further you can sprint before you run out of energy, before you have to rest and wait for it to reset. Charisma affects buying and selling prices. So if you're interested in getting involved in commerce, charisma is pretty important. It also affects your ability to pass speech checks. Now, when we're interacting with NPCs and having dialogue, often we'll get these speech checks, and the speech checks will allow us to see special dialogue or get more money for rewards, extort them, do all kinds of cool stuff. Whether you pass that speech check or not is based on your charisma. Additionally, intelligence. This increases your experience gain. So the higher your intelligence, the more of a multiplier you have applied to any experience that you gain. Agility. This will increase your total action point pool. So we use action points either for sprinting or for using the VATS targeting system, which again, I'll introduce you to later. And so if we have high agility and high endurance, we can sprint much, much further as well. Luck, this increases, ability to sneak as well. There's descriptions down here. I was going off memory and I couldn't remember. This one, also affects your ability to sneak. Luck is a measure of your general good fortune. So luck affects how fast you get your critical hit bar to increase. So you have this sort of critical bar, and as you use VATS targeting system, you'll start to charge this critical strike up. So instead of critical strikes being totally random, you charge up your critical strike, and then you can use it at an opportune time. So there's a cool strategy where you would save up your critical strikes and then use them on tough enemies. Additionally, critical strikes, as long as you have some % chance to hit, critical strikes will always hit the enemy. So critical builds are pretty cool. I think I got everything correctly. Yeah, accuracy, total health, yeah. Okay, good. There's a lot of different ways to build your character. There's a lot of viable, fun ways to build your character. I'm going to build in a way that focuses on using VATS and critical strikes. And actually, you'll see something interesting here when I put points in luck. We'll see why that's relevant later. I'm actually going to put a second point here. Now we could go with charisma. I'm going to go with endurance for the sake of this because I want some extra health. So I want this just to be kind of playable. I don't necessarily want to be min-maxing right now. Let's go with this. This will help us carry more as well. Yeah, this is just kind of a generic build. It's not an optimized build, but it's a playable build. And you'll see why I made some of these selections later.
Wonderful. That's everything.
So now that we're done with our character creation, we're going to, essentially, he's going to go away. Now we'll notice something changed already, I believe. Maybe later, I'm not sure.
For you and Sean, no price is too high. Hey, Codsworth.
Don't worry about the
I have my moments.
Not yet, okay. So eventually we'll see Codsworth dialogue. Oh, there it is, Mr. Dan. So Codsworth has a list of names. The voice actor actually recorded like thousands of names that can be used. And your name is possibly in there. It depends on your name. But you could also use a bunch of silly names that'll be in there. You can find a list of those names online. And yeah, make something fun that Codsworth will actually be able to say. So come in here and play with Sean.
How are the two most important men in my life doing? Spin the mobile a bit. He loves
Spin
that.
the mobile.
Hey, how's my little guy? Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Okay, skip some dialogue here and continue on. Hopefully you've seen this part of the game, so you know what's coming, but this is just the prologue, essentially. I think you understand the concept of Fallout at this point. There's a big world event that changes everything, and here's where it happens.
We seem to have lost contact with our affiliate stations. We do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Oh my god.
We need to get to the vault now.
Okay, so you kind of be guided towards where you're supposed to go. Other areas are blocked off. If you do stray too far from the path here, the bombs will just detonate and you'll be reset back and you'll have to do it again. I won't demonstrate that here, but feel free to try that sometime if you're feeling like having fun. Just wander off that direction and see what happens. See people packing. Nora's carrying the baby. If you're playing as Nora, then Nate will be carrying the baby. See, here's another thing, is I'm holding the forward key to move, but I can press shift, and now I'm sprinting. And you see the AP drains as I sprint. It's in the lower right corner of the screen.
Otherwise, return home.
Now, we're in the program because we just talked to that Vault Tech rep. They really updated that in real time, didn't they? Good thing we registered, right? Like 5 minutes before this.
We need to get in. We're on the list.
Infant, adult male, adult female.
How did they get that list so fast? That's pretty impressive, I think.
You two, follow me. Come on.
What's gonna
Okay.
happen to all those people outside the gate?
There's a vertibird.
Keep moving.
And we'll be guided by these friendly officers up to here. And we just make it. Now that we lose control of our character, it's just sitting here. And we get our first big action moment.
Both of you.
We love you too.
Oh my god!
Hold on.
Oh god! Oh god!
Okay, so we head down to the vault here. Some other folks.
We did
Just barely made it.
We made it.
Sorry to the other neighbors. Stuck packing their suitcase.
Everyone, please step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion.
No need to worry, folks.
Okay.
We'll get everyone situated in your new home.
At this point, we're only able to walk.
A better future underground. Just this way, please. Yes, up the stairs. This way. Step over to the table. Take a seat.
You'll need your suit before we can take you.
Grab our Vault Tech suit. Head on in.
Just follow the doctor. He'll show you where to go.
He says follow the doctor, but we're kind of ahead of the doctor. Doesn't really matter. He's coming. He'll catch up. Yeah.
This is our new home.
A lot of times you'll notice when you're supposed to be following things, if you get ahead of them, they'll just run to catch up to you, which is nice.
Not that the others aren't great, mind you.
How long do you think we'll be down here?
Oh, we'll be going over all that in orientation.
See all these nice blue suits here. You see these pods, these things here. We're not sure what they're for yet. Vault-Tec Doctor is up here.
Hey there.
And we're waiting for Nora to catch up with Sean. Now we get the chance to give
Who's my little
a little
guy?
comfort to Sean there.
I'm not going far. I'll just be over there.
And now, as soon as we activate this, it triggers the next part. So if you want to check things out at this state, that's fine. There's nothing before this that has any long-term effect on your game. Sorry, let me get rid of Discord. There we go.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
Time for a whole new life.
Resident secure. Occupant vitals normal. Procedure complete. In.
Okay, we see some kind of freezing here. Something's going on, right? This is the first story spoiler here, I think, besides the bombs falling. It's still part of the introduction, technically, so hopefully you're familiar with this. If not, hey, you're about to see it. Cryogenic stasis suspended, okay. So we were in a cryogenic stasis. We still see Nora across the way. Still see her holding Sean. Mysterious figure. Bald dude. Opening it. Sean and Nora both woke up. Trying to take Sean. Nora's refusing. Got a gun. Uh-oh. Holy mackerel. Still have a backup. Apparently, I'm a backup. Your character's a backup. And now it looks like it's going back on. We're going back into cryogenesis. Okay, now waking up again. And we see that our pod gets opened.
Come on, come on, come on. Oh,
we can open our spouse's pod. Find she has passed away. If we engage, we'll get a wedding ring. So we get another wedding ring. We're wearing one as well. We see the other pods appear to have frozen people inside. And we can't activate any of them. So none of these will open.
Why would Vault-Tec do this?
Now this is the introduction to the combat system as well as looting. We'll notice we see a lot of junk all over the place. Ball-peen hammer, wrench, adjustable wrench, screwdriver. And what we'll notice about these later is we'll see how this junk works. You have a green indicator that tells you what you're supposed to do next. So apparently I'm supposed to engage with this door. I do. And it disappears. It says, oh, that doesn't work. So now it says engage with this door instead. So I'll engage with this door. And okay, we're progressing. Whoa, we see a big old roach there. Now this is the first weapon we get a hold of. It's a security baton. Normally when you pick up a weapon, it doesn't automatically equip, but during this part of the game, it does. So this will automatically be equipped. Now we can swing it. This is how we swing it. We can swing, swing, and we can also block. When we're holding melee weapons, we can block as well. So we can swing or block. Now, before I go in here, let's check out the junk we have in here. So it's good to pick up all the junk you can right now. It will be helpful later. We have terminals that we can engage with throughout. I don't want to go through these, but feel free to read this and get a sense of the lore. Keep picking up stuff, pick up stuff, pick up stuff. And now we're continuing on, and we see another door. Oh, and there's our first enemy. Do you see that rad roach there? He's wandering around, and I can just walk up to him, and I can hit him. Hey, and he drops rad roach meat, which I'll pick up.
Roaches? What the
Giant
hell?
roaches. He's surprised. We can pick up all these goodies here as well, all these bottles. Here we actually have a recreational terminal, and this has one of these games on it. I'm not going to play it, but some of these terminals will have games, and they'll have holotapes already inserted in. So I can use this holotape since it's inserted, or I can press R to eject the holotape, and now that option went away. I can load it back in, and it's there again. Oh, now it's loading the game. Okay, so I don't want to play the game. It's sort of like Kong, or yeah, Donkey Kong. Let's go ahead and eject the holotape. We can take it with us. Hey, in case in the future we want to play, we'll have the tape with us. Keep picking up junk. You'll find sinks throughout as well. Hold on, I gotta pop up. Sinks you're able to drink from. If you're playing on survival mode, then drinking will be very important for you, as you'll have a hydration level. However, if we're not playing on survival mode, the only benefit we get from drinking is it heals us slightly. Now, if we're drinking from water sources that have radiation, we'll also take radiation as we drink. In this case, this is clean water, so we're not taking any radiation damage. We got toilets, we got more sinks. We got like barracks or, you know, quarters. And nothing in here, actually. Interesting. Let's continue on. Now I open this door, and there's some zappy stuff going on here. I'll try to avoid it. There's also a rad roach there. Now, another thing I want you to notice here is I can use, this is where I can use the VATS system. So on my keyboard, I press Q, and we'll see I have this 0 here. That means I have a 0% chance of hitting. One thing you'll also notice in VATS is that time is still moving. You can see these lightning bolts moving. They're just moving very slowly, so it slows time down. The reason I can't hit is because I'm using a melee weapon, so I have 0% chance to hit him from here. Melee does inherently have a short range that's a little bit further than it looks like you can swing. So if I get a little bit close... He just got lightning bolted. Okay, we'll have to try it on a different enemy. I'm going to go around this to avoid the lightning. Here's a couple more. Now let's do it again. 0, get a little bit closer. 0, 0, get a little bit closer. There we go, 95. So melee will always have a 95% chance to hit. So I think that basically means 100. I haven't seen that list before. And then we just smack him in the tush. Let's do it again. You'll see that it uses action points, which are down here. Every weapon has a different amount of action points it uses, and so I can swing 3 times before I run out of action points right now. So let's accept. And we only need to swing once, which is nice. We got rad roach meat.
What happened here?
Skeleton. So sometimes you just see activate, but it will just be, it'll activate some dialogue. Sometimes it'll actually do something. So look out for those activate options on things. Let's do it again. Now, VATS is very safe because when you're in VATS, time is moving slower, so you have time to plan things out, but also you take less damage. You'll notice I'm going to get hit here, but I barely take any damage, if any at all. Let's see if he actually hits me. Chomp. Are you chomping? Yeah, so I took a little tiny bit of damage. Now, outside of VATS, let's see how much damage I take. I take more, a little bit more. I believe it actually reduces the amount of damage. Maybe it's because our health is low, but it should reduce the amount of damage by 90% while VATS is open. So using VATS often can be a nice defensive layer as well. Now I've taken some damage. I see a sink. Let's drink some water. And we can fill that missing health back up. Very nice. See, there's that little tiny sliver in my health bar. Now that's indicating that I've taken radiation damage. So when you take radiation, it will eat up your health pool. So the more radiation you have, the less health you'll have. So we can see a tiny bit of our health right now is taken by that red sliver of radiation. Okay, here we get to the Overseer's office. Now he has stim packs. We'll see how to use those in a moment or in the future. He also has a 10mm weapon. Now, as soon as I pick this up, I will be forced to switch over to this weapon. If I don't want to use this one, maybe I want to save the 10mm rounds for later. I don't have access to my inventory system yet, but I can use these hotkeys that'll let me switch between the weapons. On the keyboard, it's 3, 4 to switch between these weapons. So 3 is the melee weapon, 4 is the 10mm weapon. We can also pick up some eyeglasses, which we can't wear yet because, again, we don't have access to our inventory system. We can look around here, and now we see, okay, another one, more rounds. I'll pick up everything. And I have this thing, Cryolator Case, Unlock Master.
Coming back later for you.
It says no bobby pins, so in order to pick locks, we have to have bobby pins. But there's another issue. Even if we had bobby pins, we wouldn't be able to pick this lock. And that's because master locks, it's the highest tier of lock. And I believe we need to be around level 41 before we can unlock that if we decide to activate those lock picking perks, which I'll show you the perk system as well. We won't be able to do this for a long time, but we can come back later. And there's also a couple of other sneaky ways to get this if we want. It's a pretty strong weapon. It's not really necessary. I don't use it that often. It's a fun weapon though. Now let's check in here. Okay, so you see these are containers. Dresser is a container. Now I can take things from a container if it's there, but I can also transfer my existing inventory into there. So if I move these clipboards in here, now they actually are in there and I can take them back out or I can transfer them back out. So let's check what we got. Okay, empty. We got some cigarettes there. More 10mm rounds here. Okay, nothing too exciting. There was a lucky drop that we didn't get there. You might hear people talk about getting a Vault-Tec lab coat. Oh look, I can't open the door. It says requires terminal, even though the quest marker shows us that it's here. Okay, well, let's look for a terminal. Okay, here it is. Overseer's terminal. Now, a lot of times, a lot of rooms will be gated either by lockpicking or by terminals. And you'll notice the terminal will have a lot of lore stuff. So for example, we can see information about the Cryolator, which is that weapon we saw locked up over there. However, we see there's no way to open it from here, so it doesn't really help us. But we can open the evacuation tunnel here. And then we'll see a message opening evacuation tunnel, and then it gives us some more messages. And then when we exit out of here, we see that it opened up. Now, I'm going to show you how the ranged weapons work now. Normally, I wouldn't use any 10mm rounds in here because I want to save them for later or even sell them. But I just want to demonstrate how the ranged weapon system works. So if I'm far away like this and I press Q, oh, I can cycle through targets. Let's see the closest one. He's right here. See, I have a 61% chance to hit the torso, 40 to hit the head, 21 to hit the legs, and 51% chance to hit the other legs. Let's try hitting the torso. These guys aren't very tanky, so I feel like I can hit one time. Now you'll also notice the action points. The 10mm weapon doesn't take as many action points as the security baton. So I can use more AP, more VATS attacks before I run out of AP. So hopefully one of these 5 hit at least. The other thing is don't worry about using too many of these. If the enemy, if I finish the enemy before I run out of VATS attacks, it won't waste the remainder. It'll just stop attacking at that point, and you'll keep whatever remaining AP you have as well. So I will accept this. And first one hit, nice. See, this one's going to be a little harder. It's 42. The closer we get, the more accurate it will be. But let's see if we can hit this 42. And it looks like we got lucky twice in a row. You'll see we get some cool animations when we hit with VATS. It's pretty fun. Okay, we've got a 61 on this. We got to miss at some point, right? We can't miss, baby. The other thing you'll see is that this crit bar down here is filling up. Each time I hit with a VATS attack, this crit bar is filling up. And now, you heard that little sound and you see the blinking here. Now I have a crit attack ready. Now, what I can do is, it doesn't matter how hard it is to hit the enemy. Let me use it later when I got some chance to talk before he comes up on me. Okay, hey, look at that. I hit 100%. Very nice. I didn't take any damage. I can pick up this rad roach meat if I want. There's one. Oh. Oh, another thing you can do with melee or with ranged weapons is I have the ability to swing them like melee weapons. It's a different button, but I can swing my weapon like this. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's enough for these rad roaches at least. Let's open here. See if we can find a rad roach that's kind of far away. There's one. Okay. Oh, here's another thing I can do. So I can squat down and now I'm hiding. You can see that it says hidden there. And if I'm detected, it'll be a green detected. And if it's an enemy that detects me, it'll say danger. It means the enemy knows where I am. It's trying to attack me. If the enemy's trying to find me, but they haven't found me yet, we'll see caution. So I'm going to try to get a headshot from here. See, it says only 2% chance to hit the head from here. But since I'm going to use a critical, it's going to be 100% chance to hit. So I choose my attack here, click. And then when I activate it, I have to quickly press a button to activate the crit. For the keyboard, it's space. So now it says 9%. That's fine. Now I press space and execute a critical. Critical bar goes back down, and I hit him. I also got a sneak attack bonus, which was related to me being hidden from them when I hit them. So you get a little bonus if the enemy doesn't detect you before you hit them. Whoops, there's another one. Let's swing a weapon like that. Let's check around here, see. Oh, we did! We got the Vault-Tec lab coat. So this is actually insanely rare. Very funny way to start the game for sure is to get the Vault-Tec lab coat. If you get the Vault-Tec lab coat, you got very lucky. It can help with experience gain. I'll show you what that means later. If you didn't get it, please don't restart your game over and over to try to get it. It's way too much work. If you really want to try to reset for the Vault-Tec lab coat, you have to do it before the scene in the vault or in the cryo chamber. So you have to save before that, and then you can reload and do that scene over and over, and then try to find the Vault-Tec lab coat. It's about a 1 in 6 to 1 in 10 chance, somewhere in there. Now we see the Pip Boy, the legendary Pip Boy. When we pick this up, go ahead and take it off this skeleton, and we'll put it on our own wrist. And the Pip Boy essentially serves as our inventory management. It serves as our health status updates. It serves as our equipment. It tells us about our perks. It tells us about everything, a map. It essentially has all the information we need for playing the game. We've got a lot of different tabs here. I'll kind of go through these as they become relevant. For now, I'll show you that we have the HP here, 95, 100. We can see our level progress. We're level 1, but we're pushing to level 2. We can see we have 120 action points. We can see the damage of our weapon. So if I switch my weapon over to the other one, you'll see the damage is different here, 15. Wait, is that right? Okay. 5 and 10. 18 for this. Okay, 5 and 10. This is our damage resistance. We also have each of our limbs, our body, and our head has its own individual damage it can take as well. And if one of these falls to 0, that part of your body will be crippled. So your legs can be crippled, your arm can be crippled, your torso can be crippled, and your head can be crippled. And they all do different things when that part gets crippled. Our special stats that we assigned are here. So we can see those. Perks, we don't have any yet, but we'll see those later. We can go through our inventory. We have our weapons, the 2 10mm pistols we set up and we picked up, and the security baton. Apparel. Hey, there's that Vault-Tec lab coat that we got. We can use X button to inspect, and we can actually see what it looks like. Ooh, that's pretty cool. We can equip stuff from here. So right now you'll see I'm wearing a jumpsuit. If I put my weapon away, I can spin the camera around to see my jumpsuit. Now, if I can put on the Vault-Tec lab coat here. I can put on these eyeglasses as well here. And you'll see that each of these pieces of gear have their own effects. So the eyeglasses, this increases our perception by 1. So if I'm just wearing the eyeglasses and then I go back to my special, we'll see that I get a plus sign here, which means I have a temporary boost. And now my perception went from 5 to 6. And as long as I'm wearing those eyeglasses, I'll have that extra point. Now, the reason why the Vault-Tec lab coat is so cool is it gives 2 to intelligence. And remember, intelligence is tied to gaining experience. So using this whenever we know, or wearing this whenever we know we can get experience safely, will give us a nice little boost and we'll get more experience. And again, we'll see that our intelligence went from 2 to 4. It's not as important for us because of the particular build we're going to be playing, but it's a very cool find nonetheless. Aid tab. Any food we pick up goes here. We can see that even eating this gross radroach meat will give us 15 hit points. It will also give us 11 radiation. So remember, the radiation is going to decrease our maximum health as it goes up. Stim packs, these just give us HP. So this one will give me 30% health back when I use a stim pack. So if I'm at 70%, it'll bring me to 100%. If I'm at 50%, it'll bring me to 80%. Miscellaneous, any magazines we find, any holotapes we find, whatever, they're gonna go into our miscellaneous tab. Junk. This is the tab where this is where all of those random things we picked up are. Now, if you've played any Bethesda games before, usually it's not worth picking up all this stuff. However, we can see here that we have gear and steel. So we have 1 gear and 2 steel. So that means that this adjustable wrench has base components of gear and 2 steel. That means if we break it down, we can use a gear and 2 steel from this. And we'll use that for a lot of different purposes, for crafting as well as settlement building. If you're curious about what all the raw components are that make up everything in your inventory, we can switch to component view. And that'll show us, we got 3 asbestos. It'll show the sources: cigarette carton, preserved cigarette pack, 9 ceramics, 2 circuitry, 7 cloth, copper, gear, glass, lead, plastic, etc. So these are all the raw components that this junk that we picked up are made from. Mods, we don't have any yet. Those are modifications to weapons or armor. Ammo, this is where our 10mm rounds that we picked up are shown. Data, we can see our quest log here. If we have multiple quests, we'll be able to activate them here so we can get quest markers. You'll notice this quest is active currently, which means I have a pointer showing me where to go. It's showing me to touch this thing. However, if I click this, it's not showing me anymore. There's no quest marker anymore. So I'm kind of on my own. But if you have a lot of quests going on at the same time, it's good not to be showing all these different quest markers, so you can just activate the ones that you're working on. Workshops, we don't have any yet. We'll see that later. Stats, these are statistics of things that we've accomplished. Levels survived, days of bright ideas, bobbleheads. Okay, so a lot of cool stuff here. None of this matters. None of it affects anything other than maybe accomplishments, trophies or whatever, but nothing as far as in-game. There's no reward for getting your stats up. The map, this shows where we are on the map here. We're in Vault 111. We can see how big the wasteland is. It goes quite far. It goes all the way over to here, all the way over to here, all the way over to here. We can see kind of an indicator of the area we're in, which is Sanctuary Hills. Current time, current date. Whoa, that's 2287. That's ahead of where we were. Well, we don't know when we were, but it was, 200 years ago. Radio. We don't have a radio right now, but I'll show you in a minute. You won't hear a lot of YouTubers playing the radio, and that's because most of the music is copywritten. So you will not be hearing us use the radio because we'll lose any monetization rights to our own videos, which is pretty unfair. Just for playing the radio. I've lost it on several videos. I've lost it on videos where I just walked by a radio in the world and stayed there too long, and it picked up and it copyright struck my video. So now that we have a Pip Boy, we can use it on the vault controls, which activates the vault. If there's anything you missed, you can still go back through. This was that first door that we saw that was inaccessible. Now it's accessible. So when we first came out of our pod, we saw that this was inaccessible. I missed something, actually. What did I miss? I think I missed some goodies. Look, there's more goodies. We get this new version of our Vault 111 jumpsuit. So there's an old, boring version and a new version. I don't even see the difference between the two. If anyone notices the difference, stats are the same. They both have the same. This one just says new next to it. So of course we're going to use the new one. Okay, now back through here. Now we can exit the vault. Now, before you exit, if you don't want to go through that entire process, what did that take us? 45 minutes, because I went super slow. You can save your character here. So if I save my character right here before I exit the vault, well, now, if I make saves in the future, I can, and then later I decide, I don't want to play that character anymore. I want to change my character. I want to play a different character. I can reload this save, and then I can continue playing from there, because as we're exiting, we can change our character. We can change the name and the special stats, so we can rebuild our character. We can, whoops, I don't want to do that. We can change the appearance of our character as well. So we can go back through and we don't like how our character looks, we can change that here as well. So essentially you load the save and then you can make your character again. The only thing we can't do is we can't change from a Nate to Nora or Nora to Nate, because that character has already met its demise. So, but everything else you can change at this point. Wow, why am I wearing like sunglasses? Cool. Look like sunglasses, not eyeglasses. So we're heading back to the surface now. This is the elevator we took down before when we saw the bomb drop. And now we're exiting back out to the surface. So as far as this walkthrough, I'm only going to take it to maybe the first quest, the first major quest. Feel free to stop it whenever you want. You know, if you don't want me spoiling something, you're welcome to exit out. I'm just going to kind of go through the important, relevant pieces of information, the stuff that the tutorial might not tell you, some little cool tips and tricks, some stuff you can find nearby that can get you started. So, for example, this area's got stim packs, it's got all this good stuff. Now, containers that you find will usually have their contents randomized, so you won't get the same exact stuff as I do from these, but they'll have a lot of the same general stuff. Make sure you loot these guys here. Inside of here, we should have a knife that we can use if we want to. You'll notice all these quests popping up now, and this is related to the new content update that just happened like a week before I made this video. I don't know what state it'll be when you watch this, but basically added all of these quests. All of these quests, Best of 3, Pyromaniac, All Hallows Eve, Speak of the Devil, Crucible, When Pigs Fly, and Echoes of the Past. All of these quests are not canonical. They're not part of the actual lore. They're just Creation Club content that Bethesda gave for free. They put it in the game. They didn't ask us if we wanted to have it in our particular game. They just automatically added it in. Feel free to completely ignore these. You'll probably find interactions with them even if you're trying to avoid them. They have super powerful gear, usually way too strong for the difficulty of acquiring it. Personally, I just think it throws off the balance of the game a lot. But it is what it is. That's the reality of what we're playing now. So keep picking up junk. Ooh, a cap. Is that our first cap? Look at that, we have one cap. So caps are the currency of the game. When we go to a vendor, we use caps to trade. If we sell them something, they give us caps. If we sell them something, or if we buy something, we give them caps. That's what I meant to say. That's how to say that. So caps are the currency of the game. And now we have one. As we're walking back home, this is the same path we took. We'll see all the skeletons. One thing you should look out for are these hub flowers. You'll kind of find these all over the place. We'll grab our first one here, but hub flowers are going to be very helpful for crafting one key item. And I'll show you what that is soon. As we wander in here, we'll get back to our old neighborhood. We'll see all the houses are kind of destroyed. And we will run into our old friend Codsworth, who's still here. The Mr. Handy butler robot. He's still friendly.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
Still here. Okay, so go through dialogue now. Better place. Doesn't matter what you say. So, dialogue, other than the charisma check ones, they don't do a lot. It just leads to the same place anyway. So, doesn't really matter what you choose. Usually the option that's facing down is kind of the nice guy option. The left one is, wait, I can't remember the order now. One of these is sarcastic and one of these is kind of not nice. This one's kind of sometimes getting extra information before you continue on. It's not always the case that it aligns that way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I guess this is the angry one, maybe. I feel fine.
Doesn't matter.
It's been 200 years. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time here. But this is our first charisma check. This means that when we click this, it's supposed to calculate, based on our charisma, whether we pass or not. There's some randomization involved, meaning technically you could save your game first, then do the charisma check, and if you fail, then reload and keep doing that over and over again. In this case, though, this first charisma check, it passes 100% of the time.
Codsworth, you're acting a little bit weird. What's wrong?
And we'll see it's success, and we'll see we got experience from it. Actually, it doesn't say success, it just passes. If it fails, it'll say persuasion attempt failed. If it passes, you'll get some experience for passing it.
Stay
Okay,
with me, pal.
so he's going
Focus.
crazy.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Codsworth.
Now, shall we search the
Uh-huh.
All right, let's search the neighborhood together.
All right.
So this is the first quest we get from Codsworth, and he's going to have us go through these houses to try to find signs of our families, find signs of Sean. And we'll get these first encounter with these bloat flies here. They're just big, gross flies. We don't have to do anything right now. If you're playing a very hard difficulty, you might not want to engage with these. Codsworth will take care of everything. One good thing about NPCs is their damage all scales relative to each other. So even if you're playing on very hard, your companion NPCs, the ones who are helping you, are still going to be just as strong relative to the enemies. And look at that, we got bug in there. We can free aim if we want, or we can use VATS. Let's free aim, take that one out. That one out. And Codsworth got the last one. Cool. And that's it for this part of the quest.
Thanks for trying, Codsworth. Uh-huh.
So Codsworth is going to tell us we should go check the main city area. So he's going to say investigate Concord. And that leads you down like the first major quest. However, before we do that, let's take a look at this sanctuary now. In its current state, we'll see stuff is kind of all over the place. If we wander around, first of all, this is our old house. If we go into our old house, that Grognak magazine is still there on the counter somehow. It survived the blast. If we pick it up,
Hell yeah.
we'll notice we get a special bonus. Critical hits and unarmed and melee with unarmed and melee attacks permanently do +5 damage. So this improves our damage of critical hits when we're using unarmed and melee attacks. This is a permanent boost. I don't have to use or keep this magazine in my inventory. I've just gained that boost. And we'll actually see that when we go to our perks. Wait, status, yeah, perks. We now have this Barbarian perk. And we see critical hits with unarmed and melee attacks do +5% damage. That was just a free boost. We didn't have to invest anything in it. We just picked up the magazine. You'll also notice there's all these missing stars. That could indicate that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total magazines that will have the same Barbarian effect. And true enough, there are a total of 10 Grognak the Barbarian magazines throughout this entire map, and if you find all of them, it'll increase you to plus 50% damage with unarmed and melee attacks. Critical hits. Pretty good stuff, and it can be worth seeking those out. The next thing we'll notice is that in here, if we look, this is Sean's crib. He's still got the mobile. We get a little message there. If we look under, we see this Your Special Book. Now, this is a special book. When I pick this up, you'll see I'm prompted to choose a stat. I have access to all of the stats, so I can choose which stat that I want to improve. If my stat were already maxed out at 10, it wouldn't be listed here as an option. So I have to choose one that's below 10. However, there are some ways to work around that. You can temporarily lower a stat and then use the special book and then increase your stat to 11 or whatever. So if you have a specific build and you want a crazy high stat, you can save this book. However, as soon as you interact with it like I did, now I'm stuck using it. So if you want to save it, you have to leave it here or you have to store it, which I'll show you how to do. So for me, for this build, let's go ahead and up perception. We're trying to get very accurate with VATS so that we can easily take care of whatever. And we can see now our perception is permanently, well, it's 6, but because of the eyeglasses we're wearing, it's now 7, which greatly improves our VATS accuracy. Now, all this stuff we pick up, there's a lot of junk on the ground. I can pick it up, and this is one of the key features of Fallout that some people love, some people don't like, but I think mostly it's positive reception for this. This is the settlement building. Often you'll find these red things here. This is a workbench or workshop. Now when I interact with it, the first time I interact with it, it says you can now, you saw that message, it was real fast, it says you can now interact with the workshop in Sanctuary. Now when I walk around, I kind of have this different UI. It's showing a bunch of weird green stuff at the top. When I walk up to something like this, it gives me the option to scrap. If I scrap it, you'll see that it gets broken down into all of its parts. Now, whatever I've scrapped doesn't actually go into my inventory, so I don't have to worry about filling up my inventory. It goes into our workbench's inventory. So if I close this down and then go back into my workbench, and I press, instead of workshop, which opens this menu, if I go to transfer, I can see I have all this stuff here. This is stuff that is currently stored in my workshop, including those raw materials that I just picked up. We'll have different tabs as well. Right now we only have a junk tab, but as we pick up more stuff, we'll see we have more things here. Now, I have all this junk here. I can go through and transfer this junk one at a time, or I have an option to store all junk. So I'm going to press that option, store all junk, here. And that took all of the junk out of my inventory and I moved it to the workshop. So basically you want to go collect junk and then bring it back to your workshop and drop it off, and then you'll be able to build more stuff. What can I do with that? What can I do with all that junk? All that junk inside my workshop? Well, I can open the menu. Another way to open the UI, so either I can go here and press workshop, or if I hold the V button on my keyboard, it will open up this and we'll see all these things we can build. For example, let's say resources, water. Oh, cool, I can build water. I want a water pump, but I'm lacking concrete. I have enough steel, I have enough gear, but I need concrete. So if I can find concrete somewhere, then maybe I can build that. Let's see. Wow, look at that, cinder blocks. Those look like they might be made of concrete, so I'll scrap these. And hey, that gives me 6 concrete, so I'll go ahead and scrap it. And now look, I have 6 concrete, so now I can build actually several water pumps if I want. So I'm going to put this, just a water pump right here. This will give me access to fresh water. If you're playing on survival difficulty, you'll need fresh water. It's just a free way to heal otherwise. But hey, we got water. Now you'll notice, because I built that water, if we look up at the top menu, I see people 0, food 0, water 3. So this means now I've provided 3 water in my settlement. I can also see power, defense, beds, happiness, and size. So the size of the settlement, that's how many things you can build before you run out of capacity. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of space to build here, and it's because there's already too much junk. So I can scrap things, and it will slowly lower that size to the point where I can build a lot more stuff. I can scrap trees, I can scrap these branches on the ground, I can scrap this. Sometimes I can even scrap an entire house. And as I do that, I'll get more and more capacity to build things. I'm going to revisit this later, but this is one of the key things that we have that allow us to create these awesome settlements, and then the settlements can provide a lot of bonuses and help for us as well. Now there's a few things I want to look for here before I start scrapping everything. Usually you'll be able to scrap pretty much everything. There's a few things I don't want to scrap. First of all, I have this weapon workbench here. Now if I activate it, you can see I have all these mods I can do to my weapon. I can't really do anything right now. I need more materials, and also you'll see I need perks over here. So I can't really do anything as far as crafting those. Short barrel, I can, essentially I can make this weapon much, much stronger by crafting on it. It also will allow me to scrap weapons. So for example, let's say I don't want one of these 10mm pistols. I can press R and I can scrap it, and I get 5 steel for that. And that scrapped one of my pistols. There's another workbench over here for armor. Nice. It also lets us modify our Pip Boy, but we don't have anything we can modify with it now. We can modify our jumpsuits with different linings, and we'll see how we can get armor later. Another station we have is this power armor station. We don't have any power armor yet, so we can't see how that works. I like to bring all of my crafting stuff together into a central location so I don't have to run around and find it. So I'm going to scrap a few things here, being very careful not to scrap the weapons workbench. I won't be able to rebuild it, not for many, many levels. So I don't want to scrap that, but I'll scrap everything around it. And now what I can do with this is, instead of scrapping, I can use Enter, or I can use the E button actually to pick it up. And I can move it where I want to move it. So I want to move it right here, right next to my weapon workbench, so I can have both nearby. There's 2 other workbenches available, and they're both also in Sanctuary already. So the first one, you see I'm just kind of scrapping as I walk around. The first one can be found way out here behind one of these houses. There's a couple enemies wandering around Sanctuary still, so I had to be a little bit careful. Here's the first one. It is the chemistry station. Now I'll scrap this fertilizer and this wood crate. And now I pick it up and I'm going to move it all the way back over where we started. Having this chemistry station in a central part of your settlement is really, really helpful. I don't have to go find it every time. I can scrap all this stuff around it. There's one more, and it's a cooking station, and for sure it has an enemy nearby. It has a rad roach that will attack you when you get near it. So I'll show you that. I'll also get ready with my weapon here. It's right over here, and there should be a rad roach right there somewhere. Right there. Nice shot. Okay. So let's pick this up. And we'll bring it all the way back over. And I will just set that right here. Everyone has different places they like to put stuff. I don't know. I just like how it looks sitting out in front of the house. I don't really like putting it under this. It just feels weird. So I just kind of set it right here. And I also have a water thing right here. So it just makes sense. So my cooking station, that rad roach meat that I got earlier, look at that. I can make grilled rad roach. And the difference is this will heal more, and it doesn't give me any radiation damage. So if you're playing survival, you actually need to eat food, but if not, you can just use this to heal. So this is a free heal I can get. So I'll go ahead and grill up that rad roach, and now I have grilled rad roach in my inventory. And I can use that whenever I'm having issues with health. So another thing we might want to do from time to time is probably save our game. If you're playing on survival, the only way to save your game is by sleeping in a bed. So what you might do is when you get to Sanctuary, you might scrap some stuff in here, clear some space, and then I'm going to craft a bed, actually. So we'll go furniture, beds. And I like this bed. This is a bed that's provided with the Nuka World or the Vault-Tec DLC. So if you have Vault-Tec Workshop, you can craft this bed. If not, you'll just be able to do these dirty beds. You'll notice the DLC crafts, because if you look down at furniture beds, you'll see a little green gear appears on that, and that means it's specifically part of the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC. So I'll go ahead and put that down. It's a nice, clean-looking bed, and I can sleep in it. If you're playing I can sleep for as many hours as I want. I'll just sleep for 1 hour. If you're playing survival, when you sleep, it'll save. Even not on survival, it's still saved, but I can also save other ways if I'm not playing survival. I can open up my menu and I can go to save, and I can do a new save like this. I can also use a quick save, and you'll see when I load, I have the quick save here, I have this save, these are the other saves, and then I have a quick save. On my keyboard, I can press F5, and that'll quick save as well, so I don't have to interact with the menu. And then I can press F9, which will actually reload my quick save. So you'll notice me often when I'm playing Fallout, if I think something dangerous might be coming, or I just want to save my progress quickly, I'll use quick saves. If I really want to have that point in time marked down in case I need to come back to it, I'll do a hard save is what it's called, by actually opening save. A couple other important goodies here besides just scrapping everything, which I don't want to spend too much time doing, but we got some stuff we can scrap here. On this house over here, we'll actually see that there is this cool little root cellar behind it. And if we go inside, we'll see a lot of goodies here. See an explosive box, which will have some stuff in it, or a wooden crate, which will have some goodies in it. We'll see this safe that we can't pick at this time, but we'll also see these 3 gold bars here. 1, 2, and 3. I would be careful. They're considered junk, so you'll find them in your junk tab, but the value of these is so high. Look at this. The light bulb's value is 3. Steel is 1. Gold bar is 450. So don't scrap these. Instead, put them in a different container or hold on to them so that you can sell these. These are a great starting point to sell and get some really, really good stuff early on. We also have a lot of other goodies in here, some random food, some purified water. We have some beers. Now, do not be afraid of the beer. Beer is really helpful, and you'll see in my aid tab that beer went there, the Gwyneth Stout. +1 strength, +1 charisma, -1 int. So if I am buying and selling, or if I'm trying to pass a speech check, often I will just drink a beer for a little bit of extra boost to charisma. It'll last a little while, but you'll see what happens when I consume that. Here's my special stats. And when I consume that, my special stats will be modified further. Now strength has gone up 1. Intelligence has gone down 1, but since I'm wearing the lab coat, it's a total of +1. And my charisma has gone up 1 as well. So if I take off this lab coat and put on the jumpsuit instead, you'll notice that my intelligence is now 1 instead of 2. So I get that temporary boost. It lasts a little while. You also see in the lower right corner of my screen, you'll see I now have like a martini glass effect. That means I'm currently under the influence of something. We can also check our status effects here, and look, our little Pip Boy's all drunk now with his tongue hanging out. I can press show effects, and I can see what effects are currently occurring on my character. So apparently this guy, whoever lived here, they were a prepper. They had a nice little root cellar with stuff. For some reason, they also put some stuff on the roof, which not a lot of people know about. How do I get up to the roof of this house, though? I don't know what's pinging. Maybe an email. How do I get to the roof of this house? Well, I can open my build menu. For me, is holding down V. And I can go to structures, I can go to wood, and then I can find these stairs. And hey, let's build some stairs. Let's do it in a way that lets us get up to the roof for sure. So we can kind of clip into things a little bit with our building. I'm going to build these stairs. Now I'll climb up and I'll be on the roof. You can jump. And look at this. We get a 38 round 15. We got 2 Molotov cocktails and a pipe pistol. Nothing too strong, but some cool stuff. Other cool stuff around here, we can get our first set of armor nearby. And again, this is one that not a lot of people know about or take advantage of, but if I exit out of this part of Sanctuary and I head... Oh, sorry, another thing behind this root cellar house is we get some more hub flowers. So, as I mentioned before, hub flowers can be important. We can get gourds here. Actually, I'll show you how we can use gourds in our town. Hub flower... That's a second one. So now we have 2 hub flower. Good start. Now, if I go out here, let me show you where I am on the map. I'm exiting Sanctuary in the upper corner here. And what I'm trying to do is get over to about here. So here's the water. Now be careful with water because you'll notice if I stand in the water and it's deep enough, there's just a floating barrel. None of this is deep enough apparently. Let's see if we can get deep enough. There we go. Nope, not yet. Okay, right there. Now that I'm deep in the water, I'm swimming, but you can see I'm also taking radiation. And you can see that red bar is getting bigger and bigger as I take more radiation. So try not to spend too much time in the water. But I'll continue to follow up here. And we'll see this little briefcase up here, suitcase. A paint can and blowfly meat, and I have a fishing pole which is just junk, but I have these leather pieces here. Leather left leg, leather right leg, and then when I check this, I get a raider chest piece, a raider left arm, raider right arm. So that is a complete set of armor, which is very good to start with. So if I go to my apparel now, I can equip these. Left leg, right leg, raider chest piece, raider left arm, raider right arm. You'll notice my Vault 11 jumpsuit is still on as well. That's because I can wear this particular jumpsuit underneath armor. Not every item of clothing can be worn underneath armor. So for example, if I put on my Vault-Tec lab coat, it unequipped everything. I can't wear any of that while I'm wearing the Vault 111 lab coat. And if I put on the armor while I'm wearing the Vault 111 lab coat, it unequips the Vault 111 lab coat, and I'm stuck in my underwear with silly metal on. So when you find a new piece of apparel that goes on your torso area, make sure that you can wear armor over it. Check to see if you can. In our case, we can only with the Vault 111 jumpsuit. And we'll use the new one because it's cool, because it's very cool. Oh, by the way, we also have our wedding ring here. And that's also worth $250. So if you're really hurting for money, you can sell your wedding ring and buy something with it. Not nice though, right? Okay, now let's talk about fast travel. If you're playing on survival, you won't be able to fast travel. But if you aren't, as long as you're out of combat, you can go to your map. And I can click on this and it'll say fast travel to selected location. This only works for areas that you visited. You can only fast travel from the outdoors and only if you are not in combat. Fast travel essentially just allows you to get back. Oh, another caveat is if you are over encumbered, meaning if you got too much stuff and you're weighed down to the point where you can't carry it all, then you won't be able to fast travel either. And there's a special thing you can get, I know. So the thing is, a lot of times I'm oversimplifying things intentionally because you guys are just getting started. There's exceptions to a lot of these rules. There's ways to overcome these rules, but I'm just speaking in generalities. So feel free to clarify those in the comments if you want, but Just understand, I know about all that stuff. I'm just not saying it intentionally. Cool. So, hey, we got a set of gear here. We could keep scrapping. Oh, there's some other spots with apparel as well. So when we go through the houses, actually the first one I remember is just outside of this house. We see another suitcase on the back of this this rusted out car. Now inside of here I see I have bobby pin ×2, which is used for lockpicking, antifreeze bottle, which is junk, and laundered loungewear. Now, if I were scrapping and I didn't see that this had something inside of it and I scrapped it, uh-oh, am I gonna lose everything that's inside that suitcase? Well, no. You see the thing just popped up, contents transferred to the workbench. So that laundered loungewear, all that stuff is actually gonna be in our inventory now, in our workshop. Now, if I go to apparel, I see laundered loungewear here. And this looks pretty cool. Let's see if I can wear it with my armor. I don't think so. Look at that. Looking good, looking clean. Okay, look what's going on now. We got lightning, we got all this stuff, and I'm taking radiation damage even though I'm not in water. This is called a Radstorm. It's kind of annoying, it messes up the weather, it makes things hard to see, so you can sleep through it if you want. I'll go ahead and do that. See if we sleep an hour if the weather changes. Hey, look at that. 1 hour later, the weather changed. That's convenient. Another thing you'll have access to if you want to create your own weather. Is it in here? Grenade. No, is it grenade? Fireworks. Okay. So these fireworks, actually these, I'm not sure which DLC these are included with. These are not part of the base game though, but I can actually change the weather to whatever I want. So if I want to make the weather clear, I can use this. If I want to bring it back, I can do Radstorm. Let's make it rainy. Right now it's clear, but let's make it rainy. Fireworks. Okay, so how do I use this? Well, can I just use it from here? No. Is it ammo? No. Where'd it go? Okay, how do I do this? Okay, so I have this weather change shell. I actually have to craft something that will fire it. So we'll look through. I'm actually trying to remember where this is. It's either furniture or decorations. Let's try miscellaneous. Yeah, we'll see a lot of important stuff here. A lot of cool stuff. Nothing here. Let's try decorations. A lot of gross stuff. A lot of flags. Okay, it's not there. Is it electronics? Power? There it is. Firework mortar. Okay. So it's in power. This is a good example of how using power here, by the way. So I have this power here. Firework mortar can be loaded with firework shells, which it will then fire as long as it has power. So right now, it won't do anything. What I'll have to do is I'll load my weather change shell in here, but it's not going to do anything right now because this doesn't have power. So I can build power with these generators. So if I take one of these small generators and I hook it up, the way I hook it up is after I craft it, I actually have to attach wire, which is the space bar for me, and attach it to the mortar, and now the mortar has power and it should fire off. Look at that. Fired off, and now it's raining. Okay, that's cool. So that can be useful sometimes if you want to change the weather. Maybe you're trying to get some screenshots for your thumbnail or something, or you don't like the Radstorm. You can change the weather that way. That kind of got a little more advanced, but it's just one of the cool little features that we have access to. What else? Okay, so I wanted to... I wanted to show this laundered loungewear gives 1 charisma, 1 endurance. Now, charisma is going to be important, like I said, for buying and selling and passing speech checks. So I want some apparel that I can wear whenever I know I'm about to buy or sell or pass a speech check. So I'm going to check all these dressers and try to find a +2 because there's actually a lot of +2 stuff. Neither of these have it. Nope, that doesn't have it. Okay. Oh, if I hold the tab button, I can turn my flashlight on with my Pip Boy. Army fatigues. Okay, this is another one we can wear. And actually, army fatigues are really good. Strength, agility. And the other good thing is you can actually wear your full set of gear with that. So, army fatigues are green, and they can be worn underneath stuff, unlike the laundered loungewear. Now, this is all random. Once again, this is all random, so you won't get the same stuff as I get. Hey, military fatigues. Do we get army fatigues and military fatigues? That's very rare. Strength, agility. Military fatigues are 2 agility with a little bit of damage resist. And once again, they can be worn under. Actually, I like military fatigues even more because of the agility on there and a little bit of damage resist. I'm going to keep checking these dressers. Now, ideally, instead of doing it this way, you'd want to just scrap as you do it. Oh, there's some caps here. 22 more caps. Duct tape is very important. It has adhesive, which is used for modifying stuff. Let's just go ahead and scrap as we go, but I want to check these dressers. Okay, casual outfit again. No, this is a different thing. Okay, casual outfit is +1 perception, +1 charisma, and it looks like this. Okay. It's cool, kind of high-waisted look. There's a little secret here that everyone misses. There's some mentats down here, so make sure you get those mentats. It's a helpful chem. Show you what we can do with that in a bit. Pompadour wig. Okay, that's actually very important. So, pompadour wig will actually give us +1 to charisma in the hat slot. So I can wear that on my head, and now instead of have that bald-headed look, I have this pompadour. I feel like I kind of screwed things up by changing the weather, didn't I? So I'm going to go ahead and try to sleep off the bad weather. It's also 8 p.m., so I'm going to sleep until the morning. You'll notice that when I sleep, it's instantly going to pass time. That's a mod that I've installed just to make things faster. Instead of waiting, normally it'll wait 13, 12, 11, 10. Instead of doing that, I just use that mod to instantly pass that time. Now here's the pompadour wig. That gave me +1 to my charisma. We're still looking for a +2 suit. And I've never not found a +2 charisma suit, so this could be a first. Sea Captain's hat. Sea Captain's hat is actually a really cool piece of apparel as well. We're getting a lot of cool stuff. The Sea Captain's hat is cool because it's got +2 endurance. That means if I need to run really far, remember that endurance is the stat that helps us sprint farther. So if I need to run really far, I might put on the Sea Captain's hat while I'm running and then take it off when I get to my destination. All these little apparel pieces can be helpful. It's good to keep different ones handy for different occasions as well. Keep checking. Running out of places, I think. But feeling okay. Let's see. Okay, do we check this dresser? Did we already check this area? I don't think so. Okay, toy car, baby rattle. Oh, I think we might have. Oh, these things right here. So I can pick this lock now. This is a lock picking mini game. I can only pick novice locks, though. It's pretty easy. You just kind of move it around until you find the spot that opens it.
Sweet.
If you fail, you'll break your pick, and you'll have to use another one. So I'm just looking through these houses, trying to find that +2 charisma suit outfit. Duct tape again. Once again, you can just scrap all this stuff instead of looting it like this, so I could scrap this instead. And here's an advanced safe. Oh, I can't pick it. Lock is too difficult. So am I stuck out of this one? No, because this is in a settlement. I can scrap this safe. And when I scrap it, the contents will be transferred to the workbench, just like the other ones. So I don't have to worry about being able to open that. I can just scrap it and it's fine. A lot of these will have bobby pins in the mirror, which is really nice. It's a good way to get some early bobby pins. It's a full house to scrap again. And I think we're going to get attacked by some stuff in these houses. There's also a thing there. There's an enemy. Maybe it's the next one. Oh, right here. Okay. Now, sometimes after combat, I like to duck and make sure I'm hidden. That means that there's nothing actively trying to seek out and attack me. So I'll squat down and just check if I'm hidden. Another casual outfit. What is going on? We are not getting the common ones at all. Getting a bunch of weird ones. Okay, now in here we got some danger. Let me save and then I'm going to see if I can activate the danger here. Let's look at this. It says makeshift bomb. Now if I try to open this, nothing. Okay, so what do I do here? What if I were to shoot it or hit it with this? Oh, it blew up in my face. All right. Hey, it's a good chance to check out everything that happens when you get hit. So first thing we'll notice, I have my arm in a sling here. The Pip Boy's got his arm in a sling. That means the right arm is crippled, and the arms being crippled will affect your accuracy, your ability to hold a weapon steady. So if I'm trying to aim with my gun, it's going to wobble more. Look how much it wobbles because my arm is crippled. The other thing is you'll see my health is really low. My HP is now really, really low. I can go in here and I can do some stuff to take care of that. I can use this for 30%. I can also, I don't have to, it'll eventually heal itself, but I can focus my stim packs on particular parts of the body. So if I press E here to use a stim pack, oh, it just uses it. Wait, I thought I could, maybe I can't target. Okay, if I heal, it just heals everything. Sorry, I guess in the previous games you do that. Yeah, generally you just do that. Another way to heal is you can sleep. You can also drink water to heal. So yeah, don't fret if you blow something up like that. Again, we didn't have to do that. We could just scrap everything, so we can scrap the safe, scrap all this stuff, and we don't have to worry about it. It looks like I didn't actually get a +2 piece of charisma gear, which is very uncommon. I'm wondering what areas I might have missed. Let's check this house. Yep, there's a rad roach right there on the wall. Take care of him. Another one, I can hear it. If I duck, I can see caution. That means that there's an enemy looking for me. And the enemy found me, so now it's danger. And hey, rad roach meat. Look at that. I actually leveled up. So this is a good chance to talk about our perks. So when you level up, you'll open your Pip Boy and then click, hit the level up button. In my case, it's T. And we'll see we have all of our special stats here. And then below each of those, we have a list of perks. And you'll see they get grayed out at some point. So I have 4 strength, and now this is only your permanent strength. So this is not including the temporary boosts, just your permanent strength. That'll open up these perks. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and then the 5th, 6th, 7, 8, 9, and 10 perks I don't actually have access to. Same with perception. I have 6 points, so I can go all the way down to this one. 5 points in endurance. I can go to here for charisma. I can go here for intelligence. I can go here for agility. And I can go over here for luck. Now the skill I want to take first, and the reason I took 5 luck, is there's a skill called, a perk called Idiot Savant. Now, you're not stupid, just different. Randomly receive 3 times experience from any action. The lower your intelligence, the greater the chance. So, any build that I make will have one of 2 things. It'll either have high intelligence, so I can get experience faster, or it will have Idiot Savant, which will help me get experience faster. So if I don't want to have a high intelligence build, instead I'll have a 5 luck build and activate Idiot Savant and make sure I take it right away. So this will be the first perk that I take. As you can see, some people get confused here because they think in order to get Idiot Savant, I have to like move down this tree. No, I can go right for that. So if I had 10 in a stat right now, I could get the 10th perk right off the bat, right as I level up the first time. Now I click Idiot Savant and I'll confirm. And now notice the next rank of it, I can actually see the next 2 ranks. So the next rank of it will require level 11 and then level 34. As I mentioned before, for lock picking, in order to get to the cryolator, we need to be able to open master locks. So if I look here, level 7 is expert. Oh, level 18 is master. So actually I was wrong. The last one just makes bobby pins not break. So we only need level 18 to actually open the cryolator lock if we put points in locksmith all the way up to there. So we got our first level. We've got Idiot Savant, and now if I look at my perks here, we'll see I have my temporary or my permanent barbarian. I have Idiot Savant, and I have Well Rested. This is a temporary boost I get for sleeping for a long period of time. So I get 10% earned experience. Let's scrap some more stuff. I'm not feeling great about our chances here. Let's see. Dresser. We got a suitcase. Now, I could scrap this, but opening it's good too because I actually get experience for opening locks.
Got it.
Laundered blue dress. Hey, we got 2 charisma. It's a dress, but hey, there's nothing stopping us from wearing a dress to pass charisma checks. So we're going to look awesome in our pompadour wig and our dress. It's going to make us look great, really charismatic. So that means that, hey, when I am getting ready to interact with something that requires charisma, like buying and selling or trying to pass a speech check, I'll go to my inventory first and I'll throw on my laundered blue dress and my pompadour wig. And hey, look how charismatic I look. I look great. And now my charisma is at 4 instead of 1. And if I drink a beer, it's at 5. Plus, there's even some glasses that we can find. So instead of eyeglasses, we can find something called fashionable glasses, or we can find black rim glasses. And both of those have +1 to charisma, meaning we can get +4 to charisma just from our apparel. So our 1 charisma becomes 5 charisma. If I want to take that even further, and this is why I mentioned picking up those hub flowers, if I go to my chemistry station, I can craft something called Great Mentats. Now, Great Mentats give +5 to charisma, and they help you barter better for 8 minutes. So 10% better bartering, buying, and selling. I don't have a whiskey, but whiskeys are pretty commonly found. They're not really found in Sanctuary, but there's some spots where we can get whiskey. So if I plan ahead and I find mentats, I find hub flowers, I get whiskey, and I craft a bunch of these, then I can use those before I interact with a speech check. And even though I only have 1 base charisma, with my +4 from my dress, my pompadour wig, and the glasses I eventually will get, that'll bring me to 5. A beer will bring me to 6, and then these Great Mentats will bring me to 11, and I can pass every speech check in the game without a single point invested into charisma. And that's super duper powerful. So we'll keep a lookout. We'll try to get whiskey, and that'll really help us out. However, I'm going to go ahead and store some stuff now. I'm only going to keep certain things with me. I'm going to go ahead. Hey, let's use these Molotov cocktails. We found them. This pipe pistol is worse than our 10mm pistol, so I'll put it away. I'm kind of done with the baton. I want to use pistols instead. And I don't really want to use melee anymore. I don't need this. I think among these things, because I'm using action points and VATS, I'm actually going to use this military fatigues instead of our Vault-Tec jumpsuit. You can see the Vault-Tec jumpsuit only has an advantage of 10 extra radiation resistance. It still has 5 energy resistance. However, our military fatigues have 5 energy resistance as well, so we get a little bit there. So, whoops, I want to keep that, I meant to say. So I'll store everything that I don't need. I don't need that, I don't need that. I want to keep these things. I want to keep the Pompadour wig, military fatigues and Pompadour wig. I want to keep the Raider chest, left arm, right arm. Sea Captain's hat, I'm not going to sprint really far away yet, so I'm going to store that, store that, store that. And Vault-Tec lab coat, I'm actually not going to use because of how Idiot Savant works. Idiot Savant will occur more often the lower my intelligence is. So having low intelligence will actually help me get more experience in this case, more commonly. So I'll go ahead and keep Idiot Savant on, and I'll put this stuff away. I'll go ahead and keep my wedding ring, why not? And now I'm going to put this stuff away, and we're going to wear our military fatigues with our leather left leg, leather right leg, Pompadour wig, Raider chest piece, Raider left arm, and Raider right arm. And this is our starting gear that we're going to have when we head out. And we'll even get a helmet as well. So if I look at my armor workbench, notice that I can actually craft on these things. So I can make this tempered instead, and I can get 8 damage resist, 6 energy resist instead of 4 and 2. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good jump. Leather left leg, we can do nothing with it because we don't have any leather. But if we get more leather, we can craft some cool stuff on there. And you can see we have some perks that lock this out for in this case, the Armorer perk, which is one of the best perks in the game for helping you make better gear. We can look at our perk chart even though we don't have a level. We can see armor is right here. So that's a very strong one to put points in when we have a chance to craft our gear up. But for now, let's not worry about it. There's a lot more with settlement building. I want to demonstrate that after we have settlers. And the way we get settlers is by doing the first quest in the game. So this is another point where we're going to start seeing spoilers. So if you don't want me spoiling the next quest, which is the last quest I'm going to do, feel free to shut it off and play the game yourself. That's fine. If you don't mind having the first quest spoiled a bit, stick around. Now, as I'm leaving, it's kind of guiding you to go over the bridge here. I'm going to go off this way first, though. I see something right there. You see that guy right there? That's what I'm looking for. There's some enemies over here, and I can see the enemy by... If I press the Q button to open VATS, I can kind of scout for enemies. So I can see that I have a bloatfly here. I have a bloatfly here as well. So I'm going to be a little wary of that, but they're not too concerning. Now I'm going to try to stay out of the water as well. I'm going to duck and just check. Okay, I'm still hidden. That means that they haven't spotted me. I can stay hidden and kind of walk like this if I want to. I'm not that concerned about them finding me. Oh, I see these barrels outside. Those barrels are going to be actively putting out radiation. So I'm going to take radiation damage. That means I need to run in and run out real fast to get what I want. Inside of here, the only thing I'm really looking for is there's an army hat. So I'm going to try to get army helmet. So, stim pack, and then army helmet is actually right here. So I got in, got out. I got the stim packs, I got the army helmet, and I got the heck out of there. Now this army helmet, hey, that gives us another 10 damage resist. That is not insignificant. So let's look at our status now. I have 20 total, so that helmet actually doubled our damage resist. 20 damage resist, which is going to protect us from melee damage as well as normal bullets. And then 19 energy resist, which is going to protect us from like laser weapons and things like that. Okay, there's the bloatfly. Let's stay hidden. Let's see if we can hit him. Try free aiming. Oh, I got him, but now he's coming. Nice. Okay, back to hidden again. So every time I kill something, I get experience. That's one of the easier ways to get experience is kill stuff. Crossing the bridge here. One thing we'll see is this, if you don't get this full set here, you can also get a decent set of starting armor from this guy. So let's see what he's got. He's got this Drifter outfit, and we can see the Drifter outfit alone has 5 and 7, so it's pretty good. You can't wear anything over it, though. It's not an undersuit. So I'm not going to bother because I have a better set of gear now. Shotgun is really strong early on. Now up here, we have another little duffel bag with stuff in it. And hey, let's head to Red Rocket. We're going to get introduced to our first NPC character that we can have as a companion. And hey, it's Dogmeat. Hi, Dogmeat. Just known as Dog for now until we discover the name. Let's go.
Come with me, pal. Okay then, let's stick together.
Another thing here is that this is actually another settlement, so I could build a settlement here. Here's a workshop. I can activate it, and now we'll see when I look at my map. We can see that it says Sanctuary with 0 and 50%. It means there's 0 settlers and 50% happiness. This one's 0 settlers and 50%. However, if I go to Vault 111, there's nothing there because that means it's not an active settlement of mine, and it can't become a settlement. So lots of cool stuff here. It also has all of the crafting stations, but we won't really worry about that right now. There's another cool spot right over here that I don't want to explore right now, but it's right under here. This is a mole rat den. There's some goodies inside here that can be helpful, including... sure, let's do it. Let's go in. It's a little dangerous. Some stuff in here is tough, but it'll help me demonstrate something, so why not? There's brain fungus on the wall, which is good for crafting certain things, for survival. Okay. So these are mole rats. They kind of pop out of the ground. Nice. So I'm using VATS whenever I can here to try to get some hits off. Okay. Get the head when I can. Headshots usually do more damage. Now I'm hidden again, which means nothing's currently attacking me. Turn on my flashlight and look right here, and I can see these black rim glasses. And those are the glasses I was talking about that give +1 to charisma. So now I have black rim glasses, laundered blue dress, and pompadour wig. I have a full set of charisma gear, as I call it. It's +4 to charisma. Make sure I equip that anytime I'm buying and selling or trying to pass a charisma check. In here we've got a fusion core. We're taking some radiation damage. We've got duffel bags with some goodies in here. And up here we've got another big mama mole rat, rabid mole rat. Whoa! You see it kind of teleports, so a lot of the mole rat's movement doesn't make sense. It'll kind of burrow and then instantly pop up somewhere else. Use VATS to finish it, and we're all good. We took some radiation damage. We can open this with our novice lockpick. Let's see. Ooh, see, I finally broke one. The damage you do to the lockpick builds up, and then it'll stay on it, so it'll break kind of instantly maybe the next time you do it if it didn't quite break on the previous attempt. That was a good one. Okay, used oil can. A lot of goodies here. I'm going to drop this junk off at Red Rocket, though, because I don't want to carry it with me. We can drink water here, but it looks pretty gross, and we're going to take radiation damage, so there's no benefit. Hey, there's a teddy bear. Can I get the teddy bear? Give me the teddy bear, please. I can't get the teddy bear. Are you kidding me? Okay, I thought I could pick up that teddy bear. Oh well. Dogmeat actually likes the teddy bear, so hey. If you find a teddy bear, give it to Dogmeat, and sometimes you'll find Dogmeat playing with it. This is how the teddy bears have their picnic. Okay, let's continue on. So I've kind of shown a few little cool things around here. There's one more little stop before we get to the quest that I want to show you. There's a bunch of nice buildings, but I'm just going to show one that's got some good stuff in it. Let's go back over right behind here and go ahead and drop off all this stuff we picked up. Now, another thing is I can actually drop off my junk at any workbench. I don't have to go to the main red one. I can do it at armor workbench as well. I can do the same store all junk, and it goes to the same spot. Dogmeat will kind of freak out a little bit sometimes when he finds something. I don't know what he found there. Oh, and here's another little goodie. Stop, Dogmeat. Hang out with me. I don't know what he's looking at. If I go right up to this big tower thing here, just on one of the sides here, there's this and a bunch of purified water. And I think there's a trunk somewhere as well. I'm trying to remember if that's a random thing or if it just... Whoops, there's the float flies. Float fly. I'm trying to remember where this is at. Let me see. I thought there was a trunk or something. Oh, here it is. Okay. So we got this steamer trunk. It's right here. Here's the tower. So we're like just pretty much south of the tower. Which direction are we looking? Kind of south. Yeah, pretty much south. A little southeast. And it's got a lot of a few goodies in it as well. We got the pipe, a bolt action rifle. So this one can do some decent damage if we had 308 rounds. I'm not going to use that though. Okay. Now we're going to try heading down to Concord for the first quest. First big quest of the game. Now that we found most of the relevant junk. This is nice, it'll give us oil. This is nice, it'll give us, I think, asbestos and a few other things. There's some good junk here. You'll notice I'll try to pick up a lot of junk and make a lot of trips back. We got more hub flour here, and we got a couple enemies, a couple of these big fat bloodsuckers. Blood bug hatchlings. So I'm going to try hitting his torso because he's kind of small. There we go, nice. They also drop some weird stuff that we can use for crafting, I think, chems. This first house is the one I want to mention. If you're trying to play a melee character, one of the best weapons you can get right off the bat is a baseball bat, and one's right behind the door. The other thing in here is we got some caps right here. 17 caps, that's nice. You might get more, you might get less. You get some. And then up at the top here, bobby pin box. There's usually stuff for Dogmeat. I've been getting this bug lately where it hasn't been appearing, but right on top of here should be some gear that you can add to Dogmeat and he'll wear it. Unfortunately, it's not the case now. I don't know what happened there. So we got an advanced lock that I can't get into because I haven't put any points in that, but yeah, Dogmeat seems very sad about that. Anyway, let's keep moving on. There's more houses that you can get stuff from in here in Concord, but we're gonna go ahead and do the quest. So make sure you reload. So there's a reload button. Mine is R. And remember, we're still playing on hard. It's not trivial. It's somewhat challenging. Now I'm gonna kind of sneak up here. This is what I like to do. You'll notice that the raiders are engaged with something up there that's firing laser stuff at them. Someone or something. Now we're getting caution, which means they're almost ready to find us. I can go ahead and shoot. Oops, why did that work? This guy's got a pool cue, so he's going to be melee attacking us. I'm going to do aim for the head. Good. We've got some decent accuracy to the body here, although instead what I can do is, I'll do a headshot, but I'll go ahead and use my crit. He's done. One more here. He's kind of busy with that guy up there. Whoa. Okay. So we get a quest to grab the laser musket here. This is the optional part of it. Hey, out of time, we just leveled up. Oh, we just got a massive level up. Why did we get so much experience? We actually got insanely lucky there. We got, if you heard the weird sound where it's like, oh, that's Idiot Savant. Now look how much experience we just got. Because Idiot Savant procced on the quest completion, we just tripled the experience. Now I can save scum that, which means I can save before I'm about to turn a quest in, and I can use Idiot Savant. I can keep loading until I hit Idiot Savant, and all of a sudden I get way, way, way more experience. It's a pretty cool way to get some quick levels early on. Militia hat. I actually want to replace the Raider stuff with leather stuff when I can. So I already have a leather left leg, but I'm going to do a leather left arm instead of the Raider left arm. I just don't like the look of the Raider stuff as much as I like the leather stuff. So I'm going to drop this one down. And now you'll see instead of, we have a Raider here, Raider chest, and then we have leather. And on the legs, we have leather as well. So I'm going to try to replace this whole set with leather if I can. Now let's go inside. He recommended that we use the short laser musket, and it's actually pretty good. The only thing is it's kind of weird. If I try to fire it right now, it doesn't do anything. If I hit the reload button, whoops, if I hit the reload button, it loads 1 round in. If I hit it again, 2, okay? And I can't do any more because this is a 2-charge laser musket. So by default, these can charge twice. However, you can get upgraded versions that can charge more, and all of the rounds that charge up fire simultaneously, meaning you do, right now I do twice as much damage as I would if I only used 1 round. Additionally, because this is a rifle, we'll notice that it has an accuracy stat of 70. My 10mm pistol has an accuracy rating of 60, so not terribly different, but the better the ranged weapon we get, if it's got scopes on it, if it's got a longer barrel, we'll start to see more and more accuracy improvement, and that's going to improve our VATS accuracy. So I'm going to hide when I walk in here because it'll give me a chance to possibly get a jump on some enemies here. And hey, we also need to level up. So we can decide what we want to put points in now. And this is where we can start talking about maybe character builds. So I put some points in agility, perception, endurance, and luck mostly. I put 2 points in intelligence, and the reason for that is I think this is one of the most important perks in the game regardless of what you're playing. So remember, right now our stim packs restore 30%. If I use them here, if I use this perk, it'll be 40%, and then the next one will be 60, then 80, and then all health. So if I get to the last level of this, if I use a stim pack with 1% health, it'll fill me all the way back up to full. It'll be, you know, slowly over time. Not that slow, though, unless you're playing survival. But that's why that one's so powerful. We also have sneak, which makes us harder to detect. This might be good for our build. We can also start working on things like, well, Bloody Mess is just free damage, so it's just a 5% damage bonus to everything, and it goes to 10, 15, and then it causes an area of effect explosion, so that's good. Action Boy is another good one. You get action points faster. Aqua Boy is good. You don't take radiation damage. Maybe I want to start investing in my weapon. So I have to decide, do I want to use pistols or rifles? Because if I want to use rifles, I should use this Rifleman perk. If I want to use pistols, I should use this Gunslinger. If I want to use automatic rifles, I should invest in Commando. If I want melee, I invest in Big Leagues. Every weapon type pretty much has something associated with it where we can invest in it. We got heavy weapons here with Heavy Gunner. Hey, let's make this let's do a Gunslinger. That could be fun. So we'll do Gunslinger. I'm going to put a point in Gunslinger. So now I do 20% more damage. And then it'll become 40, then 60, then 80, and also disarm, and then 100. Another point I'll put in sneak, so I can kind of sneak around a little bit. Another point, where should I put the other one? How about, well, we need a silenced weapon for this to be good. But we can also get, no, that's silenced, never mind. Oh, another thing we can do, by the way, if we don't have anything we want to put points in, we can always save it. Or we can actually invest in the perks directly. So let's say I want to add points to perception so I can get to sniper. Or I want to add points to agility so I get more action points and I can start getting more of these perks down here. Ninja's actually a good perk. I really want ninja, but I'm not there yet. Well, what I can do is I can invest one of my level ups right to here. So the next time I level, I can put a point in agility, and that will let me get a free point in agility, and it will let me activate the next tier here. So Okay, so now we're looking for an enemy. We got one. I'm gonna charge it again. Another enemy, we got that one. Don't see any others right now. Let's go ahead and switch back over, though, to our 10mm since we're investing in that. We see danger, which means something's onto us. It looks like this guy's onto us. Let's go for headshots. Since we have so many action points, we can get headshots somewhat consistently. Hey, we have Molotov cocktails. Let's use those. So, to use grenades, you will actually equip this the same way that you equip this, and then we'll get a prompt that tells us what button to press. For me, it's the left Alt button, and I have to hold it down and then release it to throw it. Remember, if I just press the left Alt, it swings my weapon like this. So I have to hold it for a second, and then I'll throw a grenade instead, whichever grenade's equipped. The first part of the quest, they're gonna tell us to come back down here. Now there's two different things here. I'm gonna save here because sometimes this bugs out. If you don't have any bobby pins by now, there's actually there's a 4-pack sitting right up here on top of the terminal. Not a lot of people know about that. I have a hacking game here, and then I can also open it here. Why not do both? That way I get experience for both. So if I do this one first, I'll unlock the door this way, but I can also go into this terminal. Hopefully it doesn't bug out. Okay, good. And what I see here is I have this hacking mini game. Now, the higher your intelligence is, the less options you're going to have here, and it's going to be easier. Unfortunately, our intelligence is really low, so we're going to be really bad at hacking. So what I do is I click one of these words, and it says likeness 0. That means that none of these letters, P-A-N-E-L, match in the same position as another word, as the actual word. So speed. So, okay, P is not S, A is not P, E is not N, E is E. So the E from panel matches the E from speed. That means that it can't be this because that would be likeness 1. Grade G-R-A. What I do is I usually read this word out loud while I'm looking at this word so I can see if there's any alignment. G-R-A-D-E. None of these match. So this could be it. So I click that one. Okay, now we know it's not panel or grade and both likeness 0. Okay. P-A-N-E-L. Okay, that doesn't work. Sorry, dry. D-R-I-E-D, so that doesn't work. Twang. T-W-A-N-G. T-W-A. Oh, twang matches for grade, so that can't be it. Spoke. S-P-O-K-E. Nope. S-P-O-E at the end, so it can't be that one. Same with place, that also has an E at the end, so it can't be that one. Crude also has an E at the end, so it can't be that one. Ready, R-E-A-D-Y, okay, R-E-A, middle is A, so it can't be that one. Same with small, it can't be that one. Clues, C-L-U-E-S, okay, E is there, panel, so it can't be that one. Furry, F-U-R-R-Y, okay, F-U-R-R-Y, it could be furry, sure. And look, it was furry. Of course it was furry. And I got experience for finishing the hacker game. There's some other stuff with the hacker game I didn't get a chance to show. There's a way to reset the tries possibly or eliminate options, but I just wanted to show the basics there. You can figure out the nuance. Inside of here, we get a fusion core. We actually picked one up earlier as well, but the fusion core is needed for using power armor. A lot of junk here, a lot of good junk we can find. Go up these stairs, we find another switchblade right here, bottle, more junk or more aid. Now, chems aid is very helpful. So Med-X will actually reduce the damage we take by 25% or 25% damage resistance. So we'll take less damage, and also poison resistance. So if we're concerned about taking damage, we might use that. We might use it later. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh. Get the head. Let's get the head. Nice. We got it. Okay. Get this one. Missed. Finally, we missed one of these. Okay. I want to use one of these grenades when I get a chance here. Ooh, a lot of goodies there, actually. Psycho and Mentat. Psycho's really good for damage. Okay, I'm going to try throwing a thing here. So as we can see, hey, I just lit all of those guys on fire. I got both of them. 2 in 1. Let's go. That was actually just ideal and very lucky, but I'll take it. This one's all burnt up. That can happen sometimes. Oh, a leather chest piece. Let's go. So our goal was to finish off all of our leather pieces. We can now drop this raider thing on the ground, and we're going to use the leather chest piece instead, which looks much, much better. Now we're just missing the right arm. I haven't been checking carefully, actually, but we'll try to find the right arm. Robco Fun, here's another magazine.
Oh, yeah.
This one gives us the ability to play another game, the Atomic Command holotape game. Okay.
I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Glad to help.
Glad to help.
Well, if that's true...
So you can go through this dialogue when you're playing through. Essentially, he's going to talk about how they're trapped there, and they have a plan to get out, but it requires... There's a vertibird on the roof with a set of power armor and a minigun.
There's a crash
And
vertibird up on the roof.
he wants you to get the fusion core so that you can do it. You tell him you already have the fusion core.
I like it.
Get...
Minigun.
I know, right?
Out of juice, so he's going to tell us to go get the fusion core, but we already grabbed it.
I'll help if I... Sure.
But we can't... Look.
Actually, I already grabbed the fusion core. We're set.
Well, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, okay, cool. We get introduced to Mama Murphy, who's actually got some really cool stuff going on with her.
Man.
She can tell you all kinds of stuff. You're not expected. Dogmeat, see, so we actually learn the name Dogmeat.
He's a good dog.
Oh,
Please, tell me what you know.
just listen.
So she's got some weird psychic abilities that are tied to doing drugs.
Uh-huh.
So here's another speech check. Okay, I know I can't pass it right now because I don't have good stuff going. So let's see. Maybe I can actually do this before I take the speech check. I can save, and I can switch my gear over. So if you're in a conversation, you can step away from it, and then it'll pick back up where it left off. So I'm going to put on my blue dress, my black rim glasses, and my pompadour wig, and I'm going to drink a beer, a Gwyneth Stout. And now I'm going to resave first, and then I'm going to try to pass this speech check.
What is it? Mama Murphy, I need more, please.
Oh, I failed. Okay, now I can reload and do it again. We can save scum these things. Let's try it again.
Mama Murphy, I need more, please.
Nice, okay. Claws and teeth and horns, the very face of death itself. Hey, sounds like a Deathclaw to me. Good. So, Mama Murphy will give you some heads up on certain things if you pass speech checks and you give her the good stuff. Notice that with the dress, I can actually wear the arm armor with a dress, which is kind of nice, but I'm still going to switch back to what I had before so I can wear my full armor here.
Just stay trapped in here. This is ridiculous.
Marcy and June are sad. This is our bobblehead. This is our first bobblehead we can get. Now, do you remember the special book? We could add a point to any special stat. This bobblehead will give us 1 point to perception. Now, if I want, I can wait until I use my levels to max out my perception at 10. And then if I get the bobblehead, that'll bring it up to 11. And that's how I really maximize my stats. However, this takes a long time and doesn't really work for a normal playthrough. So if I'm just playing like a normal human being and not trying to min-max, I'll just grab these as I see them. So in this case, I'll just grab this one. And now I have a perception bobblehead that will permanently increase my perception by 1. And if we look at my perception now, if I switch, especially if I switch to eyeglasses again, we use the special book on perception, and we use the bobblehead, and we have the glasses on, and suddenly we're up to 8 perception, and we're in business. So we should be pretty accurate with VATS now. So now we're going to head up to the roof. And I'm sure I missed little things here and there, so if you saw anything that I missed that you think is super important, throw in the comments. I'll try to compile everything together and I'll pin it as a note just so that, you know, in case I missed any key little advice, we'll be able to catch up on that. Some junk here. A holotape, you'll find these a lot and you'll actually be able to play them. So I can take it or I can play it. Let's hit the play one with R and we can actually listen to what they talk about.
United States Army Staff Sergeant Michael Daly.
So this just gives you some cool lore. So this is talking about what happened, how this vertibird crashed.
A vertibird crashed into the roof of this museum. The cause? EMP following nuclear detonation. Several, in fact.
So this crashed when the bombs hit. Interesting.
It was a global event. The co-pilot was killed on impact. Pilot died of his injuries a day later. Day after that, Flaherty and Canaway were shot by some scared, desperate survivors. Then Brzezinski took off running. Haven't seen him since. Now it's my turn to go AWOL.
Sorry, I won't activate these much, but I can't really talk until it finishes.
Burned out, so I guess my soldering days are done. I'm heading to Boston on foot to see if my sister survived all this. She's got an apartment on Boylston Street. This is Mike Daly signing out. Good luck. And God bless America. Or what's left of it.
It's interesting. He said his fusion core burned out. Did he just sit up here the whole time? Did he wander around? Did he come back when his fusion core burned out? All right, caps. Some stuff in here. Good wonder glue for more adhesive. Now, the fusion cores that I picked up, they'll show up in your ammo because they're actually used as ammo for a specific very, very high level weapon, but they're also used to power our power armor. We can see the one that we just grabbed it's actually 50, and that's a story fusion core. The normal ones you pick up always have 100 of 100 charge, but the first one we're going to put in is only 50% charged. And when we put it in here, we will see that the fusion core is in there now, and now we can enter the power armor. You need to have a fusion core to enter the power armor. It sort of wraps around you. It's very cool. Now, the thing is, oh, it actually used the full fusion core. So we can see the fusion core down here is actually completely full. We can see our ammo stuff, AP stuff, health. So it sort of changes the UI while you're inside of this. Power armor is really cool. You can fall and you don't take fall damage while you're falling. So that's nice. So I could jump off the roof of this and I won't get hurt from fall damage like I normally would. It also, the other thing that power armor does is, if I look at my special, it automatically sets your strength to 11. It doesn't matter what my previous strength was. If it was 1, if it was 5, if it was 8, now my strength is 11. So that means my carrying capacity is going to be much higher. And if I want to, I could switch to a melee weapon and do more damage with a melee weapon as well. So even this little switchblade here is going to do a lot more damage because our strength is set to 11 whenever we're in power armor. We can also see that some of our power armor is pretty damaged, pretty beat up. And when we look at our apparel, we can see how the pieces look. We can see the helmet is half. This one, left arm is 4 of 50, so the left arm is almost broken. Left leg is half full. Right arm is half full, and right leg is almost broken. Torso is half full. So we can see that the right leg and the left arm are right leg and left arm are just about to break. Now, when they break, it doesn't mean that they're broken forever. We can repair them, but they will unequip and go into our inventory, and we won't get any benefit from those. The damage resist on power armor is massive, even for this little one here. Even for this most basic set, we can see that our armor is now 560 physical, 370 energy, and 1050 radiation. That means if we're going into a really heavily radiated area, it's very beneficial to wear a set of power armor. Do you remember what our stuff was when we didn't? I think it was 20 and 20. Now our damage resist is it's skyrocketed. So power armor is extremely strong, especially early in the game when your HP is pretty low. It can really help you survive. Don't underestimate the strength of power armor. It is ridiculous. All right, so part of the story is it wants us to rip this minigun off. Normally you won't have that, but in this case we do. And it wants you to kind of use this to clear out some enemies. I'm going to switch back over to my normal weapon. I'm going to save that ammo for when I need it. So I'm going to use my 10mm pistol for now. See, our accuracy's still not great here. And if we jump down here, be engaging with these raiders down here. We have one named enemy named Gristle. It's right in front of us. Let's see if we can... I'm gonna get close so I have good accuracy. It seems like he's busy with Preston firing down on him. Nice in the head. Miss, miss, hit. He's down. Other raiders down. Now there's gonna be a big event coming up. Mama Murphy hinted at it. We're gonna hear a sound in a second here. Right there. Deathclaw's coming out. I'm gonna throw my grenade there. Because I want that to blow up. There we go. And the Deathclaw's gonna take damage from that. It didn't take as much damage as I would have hoped. Try to get another one. Didn't work. Okay, he's gonna mess with us now. So, he hurts bad. So what I'm gonna do is actually, one thing you can do is hide. You can hide in these buildings and he actually can't hit me from here. He's gonna run around outside, he's gonna be angry. And I can shoot him. He can't actually hit me. Eventually he'll run away though, because he doesn't like to stick around here. You can also try to shoot him in the legs, which is helpful because you can cripple his leg and then he won't be as fast. So sometimes I'll shoot at his leg for a little bit to try to get some damage there. Also, I can keep throwing my Molotovs at him. Try to get the damage there. You know, I just sort of play this safe, especially on harder difficulties. Oh, I hit myself with that one. I wasn't playing that safe at all. We can see that Dogmeat's in trouble out here. Dogmeat got hurt. We should probably heal him so he can help. Deathclaw's still hanging out here. He's not running away. So I'm going to come out and help out Dogmeat. Maybe at the risk of my own safety. Oh my gosh. Very dangerous. So we can see we're taking a lot of damage here. We're down to 50% health. What I can do is I can use my aid here. So let's use Stimpak. This is also a good time to use like Med-X or Psycho or, you know, a lot of those chems we picked up that are going to make us do more damage and take less damage. I won't use those now. We'll just try to get them taken care of the old-fashioned way. Dogmeat is just serving his purpose of being a meat shield, unfortunately. Okay, there's another enemy out there, a raider, who's kind of taking some heat for us as well. Throwing these Molotovs. Remember, we're on hard difficulty, so this is not as easy as it could be. It's not as hard as it could be, but it's definitely not easy. Throwing these. And he's kind of wearing down a little bit. Let's use some VATs here. None of his... Oh, by the way, sorry. Let's talk about this. So most of the time, headshots are going to do the most damage. However, certain enemies have special vulnerable areas. And for the Deathclaw, the vulnerable area is actually his belly more than his head. You can see his head's got horns on it. And you just kind of have to learn their vulnerable spots. So I'm going to try to hit him in the belly if I can. So that's actually not the belly. You'll see belly's right there. It's 0% right now. So I'm going to let him... I'm going to try to get it exposed to his belly. There we go. We're seeing belly, 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 belly. 95. Let's go. I can do a crit right to the belly. I'll try hitting more in the belly as well. And he'll take more damage because I'm shooting him in the belly. I ran out of ammo for my weapon, actually. So let's use the shotgun then. There we go. We got him. All right. Cool. Let's bring Dogmeat back up. Now, if you're playing on survival, you actually have to heal your companion or else they'll run away. Oh, wait. I'm not paying attention. Where is the enemy? Okay, we got some more enemies here. We ran out of our main ammo source, so run out here. Use our double barrel. Looks like that's it. Okay. So now that we're clear, we get a notification to go inside and report back to Preston. Deathclaw meat, which we can, of course, cook up into something delicious. Let's go inside and talk to Preston. And this will be the last quest, but I'm going to show you some of the stuff we can do in Sanctuary to help build things up.
Hey, that was a pretty amazing display.
Feelings mutual.
You can listen.
Preston did good work.
You're welcome.
So Preston will just let us know. He wants us to go back to Sanctuary again, actually. Join Preston Garvey in Sanctuary.
All right, Garvey.
Mama Murphy is going to tell us about our son, missing son.
Please, tell me. I need to know.
You're a man out of...
And
I knew it.
she's going to tell us to go to Diamond City, actually. The Jewel of the Commonwealth, Diamond City.
Please, Mama.
So if we want to continue trying to find our son, we'll go to Diamond City. However, let's finish Preston's part of the quest, which is meeting him back in Sanctuary. Before we do that, I've got one more little thing to do here, and it's going to be helpful for setting up buying and selling. It's really nearby, so I want to show you that real quick. So out of here, I'm going to turn left. And my goal is to, I want to go right to this intersection here. We're going to find a lovely young lady named Trashcan Carla. And this is our first vendor that we really get a chance to interact with. Curious here. Okay. Got another level. Okay, let's show that level. So this level we're going to put in agility. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 agility, which means we can only activate down to moving target. But I want ninja, so I am going to click this and confirm. And now I've used my level up on agility instead of on a perk. And now the next time I level, I'll actually have access to that level, that tier 7 perk, which is Ninja. So if you can't think of anything to do, it can be good sometimes to invest in your special stats. A lot of build guides will really tell you what you should be investing in. To me, I kind of think more of like the most important perks, and then I just sort of allot things in a way that makes sense in the moment. So Trashcan Carla.
Hey.
She's a vendor. She's a junk vendor, so she mostly sells junk, but she sells some other good stuff too, so let's talk to her.
What's your story? Looking to trade? Rob me? Or just ask directions to Diamond City?
Now, the first time you interact with her, she gives you this option. Don't take this. Even though it looks like, hey, it's a charisma thing, we should probably try to pass. You don't want to pass every single charisma check. What? If you... Wait, what is going on? Are we getting attacked by something? Uh-oh. I was trying to explain something and we got attacked by dogs. We got to be a little careful because shotguns do have a little bit of splash damage, so I don't want to hit Carla. Okay, we're good. Where'd Carla go? Okay, Carla's running around up here. I was trying to talk to her. I think that might have broke Carla. Where did Carla go? The Brahmin usually will find her, so... Okay, she's back in her original position. That's good. Okay, let's talk to her again. So what I wanted to say was don't threaten her because you'll lose access to her as a vendor if you do. So I'm going to use the sarcastic option. Just looking for love, sweetheart. Now, this will actually give me a discount on what she sells, which is nice. But she sells a lot of good stuff. She'll sell weapons, a decent supply of weapons. She sells apparel, sometimes things we need, like maybe we needed a +2 charisma suit. We don't need one, we got it. She's selling some left arm, left leg. We needed a right arm, but that's okay. Military cap, which can give us more perception, which is nice. Goggles for perception as well. Now, ammo is one of the nicest things to sell because most ammo, no matter how high your charisma is, it's still only going to be worth 1. So that means that this right here, 1,300 5mm rounds, is essentially worth 1,300 caps, no matter how much charisma I have. So I can buy out her inventory of caps. She has 254. I can just trade her these, 254. And essentially get all of her caps if I want to. And I don't even need to worry about putting on my charisma gear. She also sells junk. One of the nice pieces of junk to get right now are things with crystals, because in order to continue expanding our settlements, we'll need to build something that requires crystals, and they're kind of hard to find. So cameras or microscopes are good for this. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but if you do want to build up your settlements in the future, you'll likely want to buy things with crystals or find things with crystals like that. Oh, the other thing is, now that we talk to her, look at her, she's walking away, and she's actually walking towards Sanctuary. So our home is in Sanctuary. She's actually going to wander from here up to Sanctuary and hang out for a day, and then she'll wander all the way back down here to this area where we're about to go to, called Drumlin Diner. And basically, she goes back and forth between the two. And every 3 days that you're in Sanctuary, she'll show up. So if you're in Sanctuary and you want to trade stuff, Trashcan Carla is a great vendor. You don't have to go anywhere. She'll be right there to trade with. But you have to initiate this dialogue with her before she'll start her route and get to Sanctuary. So now we'll start seeing her pop up in Sanctuary. Another early vendor we have access to is involved in this quest here. This is another little tiny spoilery thing, but I'm going to go ahead and hop out of my gear here. And I want to put on all my charisma stuff because I have some charisma things to pass. Pompadour wig is good. So I've got my +4 charisma. Do I have a beer? I do have one more beer, so I'll use that as well. Now I have 6 charisma. And we're going to see that we have this standoff between Wolfgang, I'm going to quick save here, Wolfgang and Trudy inside of this diner. Now, we have some speech checks to try to pass. I'm going to try to pass them, so I'll quick save. You can actually, if you're on PC, you can quick save during the dialogue. So I'll quick save now, and I'll lower your gun.
Waving that gun in my face, or it's gonna.
If it passes.
Okay, just
okay, cool.
We'll lower our weapon.
Now we could really try to demand money here. It's not necessary for what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm just going to offer to help.
Like you got some trouble. Help.
And then I can, well, we can do this one. Let's ask for money real quick. This is an easier one. It's yellow, so I should probably pass it. Nice. We could try to get more and more and more. I'm not going to worry about it. But I'll go talk to Trudy now.
Maybe we appreciate it.
Now if I go inside and talk to Trudy...
Hey there.
I saw you in that poison cellar talking.
You could hear the way I said hey there. It's actually because I drank a beer. There's a little bit of a slur on it. Like like he's like slurred speech. End peacefully is the one that I want. End peacefully is good because I actually get access to 2 vendors doing it this way.
All right.
And this will finish the quest once I talk with Wolfgang again.
Fine by me, Trudy. Your son's broke as shit anyhow.
All right. Crisis is over. If you're here to trade, step up to the counter.
Okay, talk to Wolfgang. Hello! You see my hello's a little drunk sounding too.
Good job.
I agree.
And that'll finish order up. Now, this isn't a massive quest. I could try to save until I get the Idiot Savant proc, but I don't care. Now, he will sell chems. He'll have a really good supply of chems. So we can buy, stim packs, anything else we need, psycho, whatever we need to help us get by. purified water. He's got a very good inventory of stuff. Trudy, on the other hand, sells junk. Just like Trashcan Carla, but she's got an even bigger inventory. The other thing Trudy sells is actually a legendary weapon. Now, legendary weapons have special effects on them, and the one she sells is called General Chow's Revenge. Now, if I inspect it, we see General Chow's Revenge does 50% more damage against robots. It's a weird sword with this weird serrated edge, and it does 50% more damage. So the legendary effect is the one that does 50% more damage to robots. The ones you get from specific locations will usually have special names. The ones you find in the wild, like killing legendary enemies and finding it, they'll just have a generic name with a prefix in front. So for example, extra damage to robots, I believe, is a troubleshooter's prefix. So you see like troubleshooter sword or something will essentially do the same thing as this. She's got, you know, good stuff. Ooh, a lab coat. So if I didn't have the intelligence lab coat from earlier, the Vault Tech lab coat, I could buy one here. And I'm actually not using it because it's worse experience because of Idiot Savant. Junk. She's got a lot of junk. She sells seashells. No, she sells shipments of different things as well. Now, shipments are cool because they have a weight of 0, which means you can buy these and you don't have to worry about being over encumbered. And you can just carry them wherever you need them to be, and then you can use them. So, for example, I can get a shipment of concrete. Actually, that's kind of helpful. Let's go ahead and get these shipments of concrete here. I'm going to get both of these, and then I'm going to trade my ammunition for it. So, I do a little math in my head. 702 plus 292 is 994. So if I sell 994... then not only am I I'm paying for the cost of the shipments, I'm also getting her entire inventory of caps, and that'll leave her with 0 and me with all of her caps. And now I have 845 caps and the 2 shipments that I wanted. Did she sell a crystal thing? Actually, I kind of want to do that now. This guide's getting kind of lengthy. I'm hoping it's still interesting and helpful for the new players here. Let's see. She's got, okay, this actually has 4 crystals, so that's really nice, but I want to see if, I think microscopes are a little bit, are they cheaper? No, this one's cheaper. So we'll get this crystal. So cameras have it, this crystal decanter has it, and the microscope all have crystals. So 4 is enough for what we need for sure. Let's see if we have any more ammo left to sell. We do. We have 52 of these, so we're going to sell 42 of them to pay for that junk. Now we got crystal as well. Okay, so make sure I get my power armor that I left here. I did a bad thing here, actually. Whenever you leave power armor behind, it's good to take out the fusion core before you leave it. Now, what'll happen is if you leave the fusion core in, if there's a random conflict, like let's say all of a sudden some wild mongrels started attacking Wolfgang, in addition to fighting them, the AI will look for power armor nearby because it knows that that's a strong thing to be in. It will hop into this power armor, and now that power armor belongs to Wolfgang. It will, and I won't be able to get it back from him without killing him. So the AI can only hop into power armor if it has a fusion core already in it. So if I take the fusion core out, I'm essentially taking the keys out of the car, and he can no longer steal the car. So always take the fusion core out of power armor when you're not using it. So let's hop into power armor. And let's head back to Sanctuary now. Preston's almost there. So now that we're back in Sanctuary, one thing to notice is where we're dropped off when we fast travel, actually. I didn't mention this either, but we get dropped right here. Now, if I don't want I don't mind that because it's sort of the center of everything, but if I don't want to be dropped off right here, I can actually craft in, I believe, decorations, miscellaneous. No, it's resources miscellaneous. We can actually craft this fast travel target. Now, wherever I put this mat, that's where I'm going to fast travel to. So if I put it right here instead, or if I put it over here, when I fast travel to Sanctuary, I'll show up there instead. So maybe I'll put it even more dead center here. And then when I fast travel, I'll land right here on the welcome mat. Now, get out of your power armor near the crafting station. It's hard because if you just try to put your back here, you won't be able to get out. So I kind of stand sideways and face a little weird like this. As long as your power armor's in the vicinity, you'll be able to move everything over. Let me go ahead and... Now if I hit E, craft, you'll notice the power armor's here. But as soon as I press E to craft, it moves the power armor into position. Now some of these pieces got busted and they're all pretty bad off. I can repair all of these. And in the case of T45 power armor without any upgrades, it's very easy, it's steel. Now all of these are now repaired. I hit the repair button, so they're all full health, but the left arm's still not there. Since it broke, it got unequipped. I have to re-equip it. So now that the health is there and it's full, it doesn't matter if it's full, as long as it got some health, we can equip it. So I'll hit the button to equip it, and now my full power armor is equipped, and I can grab this whenever I need to. Once again, I'll take the keys out of the car. I'll take the fusion core out while I'm not using it. And I'll just leave the power armor here, and it'll just be waiting for us and ready to go. We can craft other things on here. There's some pretty cool mods. Eventually, we can even... So, as we get more ranks of armor and science perks, we can upgrade this to basically double or 50% increase in everything. So, 200 to 300 on damage resist. We also have these material mods we can craft on. So military paint will increase strength with all pieces painted. So if you paint them all military paint, it'll get strength. Charisma with Vault-Tec paint. Winterized coating for energy resist. I really like explosive shielding because a lot of the deaths, especially early in the game, come from explosions. So explosive shielding is pretty strong. Then you can also craft these mods on. And the one that everyone loves for these are jetpacks. They require the highest rank of science and the highest rank of armor. You won't get that until level 41. But then you can build a jetpack and fly around. Pretty cool. There's all kinds of mods on these, so check those out, see the perks that you need, and build away. Preston's here. Now, when I talk to him, it's going to finish this quest. I know this quest is worth a lot of experience, so this is one of these quests that might be worth save scumming. I don't always save scum, but hey, sometimes I really just want to get a lot of experience with Idiot Savant. So I'm going to quick save. You can do a hard save either way. I'm going to save right here, and then I'm going to talk to him.
You decided to come with us. I should have listened. I think we sure.
And I'm just going to go through some dialogue until I get the...
Damn.
My son.
Damn. Anyway, I am glad you're here.
Right.
And I hope you don't mind. I've had word. The only chance the trouble is.
I'd be glad to help.
That's fantastic. By the way.
See, when Freedom Calls just finished, I didn't get a proc there, so I did get a lot of experience, but not as much as I could have. So I'm going to save scum and try it again. I'll try it a few times. Because my intelligence is so low, it shouldn't take that long to hit.
Yeah.
And I can even save a little bit later in the conversation to make it reload quicker.
You say you were frozen.
I'm trying to remember which dialogue trigger it is that actually triggers.
I am glad you're here.
This is the part where it comes in. So it has to be before this.
But I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement. The only chance the trouble is.
I'd be glad.
Oh, is it the yes? Maybe it's the yes here. Okay, so it's yes. So as soon as I hit yes there, that's when it triggers the quest. So if I save right before I say yes there, it should be okay. I'll do a hard save just in case I mess this up. Now, some people think that this is cheating. Some people don't. I just want to demonstrate to show you what it looks like, what you might be doing when you turn in quests. It's entirely up to you if you take advantage of something like this.
I used to like it.
What do you mean?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is save scumming cheating or not?
Damn. You say you were frozen.
Okay, so this is the one, I think, my son here. So let's quick save here. Oh no, not this one. Sorry, it's
I am glad you're here.
it's yes.
Right.
I thought it was this, but yeah.
I've had work. The only chance to trouble is.
Okay, so it's right as we say yes here. That's when we get the experience. So I'm gonna save right here, and then yes.
I'd be glad to help. That's fantastic. By the way.
Nope. I believe my chances are around 10%. Oh, there it goes. Yes. Okay, we hit it. We hit it. So we got the Idiot Savant perk, that crazy sound, and now look how much experience we get instead. We got 1 level. We're about to hit a 2nd level here. 3rd level, maybe? So, not too bad. We got, I mean, that's worth the few extra loads we did there, for sure. As far as time, it's just up to you if that's cheating or not. I'm going to do Ninja here and try to get a little sneaky attacks going. So normally my sneak attacks with range do 2 times. Now they'll do 2.5 times. So a little bit of a boost. And I'll do another point in sneak as well. So I'm trying to make this kind of a sneaky character. And I'll do 1 point in Gunslinger too. Well, next level I'll do 1 point in Gunslinger so I can do more damage with my pistols. All right, so we got that message about going to the next part. However, instead, we're just going to talk to Sturgis here. Sturgis is going to have us do some things in Sanctuary. So let's talk to Sturgis. And this is the tutorial for settlement building. We did a little bit earlier, but this is really the tutorial.
Just make sure we can sleep with a roof.
So he wants beds. We currently have 1 bed that we built. However, I just got a whole bunch of concrete. So I want to use that concrete that I bought to build a nice little structure over here. Now this structure in particular, this concrete structure is involved in one of the DLCs. I believe it's the Contraptions DLC, something like that. It's the one that lets you build traps. But this makes some of the nicest looking houses. I'm not gonna line this up super perfectly, but hey, look at that. We're getting those Idiot Savant perks like crazy. Now, if I have something that's really badly aligned like this, I want to align this to the curb much better. I can hold my select key and it'll select them all in one group there, and then I can drop it again, and that looks better. That doesn't look too bad. Now let's build some more floors. You can see all that shipment that I bought is why I have enough concrete to build all this stuff. I'm going to build some walls, maybe some windows. Let's do a door first. I'll do a door here. Then I'll do maybe some windows in these centers here, and then another window maybe back here. Another one over here. Build some walls. You'll notice that when you're building, they'll try to lock into place as you build. It's a very finicky system. It takes a while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad building stuff. You can build some really nice looking places with this. Whoops. Okay, walls again. Now, why am I building this structure? First of all, it looks cool, but also our beds, we can put the beds in the street if we want, but that doesn't protect them from the weather. And actually, settlers will notice when their beds are not covered, and you'll get a bonus to your happiness if the beds are covered with a roof. So I'm going to build a roof as well, concrete roofs, over this entire structure. Just like that. And you hear that Idiot Savant thing. So that's the one downside of playing Idiot Savant. You just have to get used to the sound. Actually, the female version, I think, is much funnier than the male version of the sound. It takes me a lot longer to get tired of the female version of the sound. So if you're going to play Idiot Savant, the female version sounds a lot better. All right, now we can put beds in here. It doesn't matter if we give space. We can just put the beds right next to each other. Sometimes people use these sleeping bags because they take less space. I actually like these beds from the Vault-Tec workshop. They just look nice. I can space them out nice, you know. So right now I just need 5 to cover all my settlers, but maybe I'll add a few more here just to just for if I get more settlers coming in. Okay. So now we're done with that. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Sturgis.
I like it. Having a place to sleep will improve everything.
Right.
What we need now is a reliable...
Clean water. Okay, I'm on it.
Clean water.
Great.
So we already started this, actually. We built this clean water here. That gives us 3 clean water. We have these, if we looked at the water section of the resources, we have these like water purifiers here, but they don't do anything. Like I can't put them in the ground here. These need to be placed in the water. You can see that sign. So we have this river over here, and we can place this in the river. Might be good for demonstration. Sure, we'll place one of these. And we have this advanced version here that actually gives us 40 water. And there's some crazy strategies you can do using getting enormous amounts of water. But for now, I'm just going to build one of these. I can't build it because I got some junk in the way. So let's scrap all this stuff here. And there we go. So we put our water supply here. But it didn't do anything. It didn't add to our water. Because this requires power. It actually requires 2 power to be fueled up. So I don't like to put my power thing like right here. It doesn't really matter. I just don't like the look of it. So I tend to put my generators right here on this little platform that I scrapped off of. And then what I'll do is I'll build these connectors, these power pylon connectors, and the connectors will let me wire from one thing to another. So I'll just put 2 of them. That should be plenty. So I'll move from generator to pylon, from pylon to pylon, and from pylon to water supply. And hey, look at that. Now I've got 13 water. And I've got enough water for all of my settlers. So now Sturgis will have me go back and talk to him again. I'm just going to sort of scrap stuff as I walk around. I tend to do this when I'm just playing. I'll kind of just turn on my build mode and just start scrapping stuff as I walk around. I don't really like to do all of my scrapping all at once. It just takes way too long. So I'll kind of scrap in segments and, you know, get bored of it. Hey, look who it is. Look who's here. It's Trashcan Carla. She made it here. See, so I told you she's going to wander. This is part of her trade route. Now she's here. She's got an inventory we can buy from. We can sell stuff to her. Really nice source of commerce within Sanctuary. Okay, let's talk to Sturgis. Apparently I don't have the quest active anymore. Let me turn this one off and turn... Wait, why is that not... Oh, Sanctuary. Okay, talk to Sturgis.
Hey, Sturgis.
I feel better already, knowing we have a reliable supply of clean water. I hope you don't mind me asking for some more help, but our food supplies are running low.
Now he wants food.
Right.
He wants crops. Okay.
I'll start planting.
Good deal.
So, in Sanctuary, when you before you do anything, there's already some crops planted. And those are right back here. Right here. So we have melon, and we have gourd. So we have like 3 things. It's not enough. It's only 1 food technically because each of these only provides half. So 1 half, 1 half, and half. These are not my favorite types of food because they take a lot of space on the ground. But if I go to my food tab, I've been picking up stuff. I randomly picked up a couple of gourds. So I'll go ahead and put those here and just throw those in. Did I pick anything else up? No? Well, that's up to 40%. Let's see, maybe Trashcan Carla will sell some. Sometimes she'll sell some food.
Carla.
Hey there. Trading?
I've got a few minutes to browse.
I got a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I kind of want to switch my dress out for a dirty black suit. Nah, the dress is funny. Let's just rock the dress. Okay, so in the aid tab, hey, she's got a carrot. She's got corn. She's got melon. She's got razor grain. All of these can be planted. So I'm going to buy all those from her just so I have some crops to start with. Let's go ahead and put the food down here. So now we got this razor grain. I'm going to plant one here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these gates and try to give us some more space to work with. We got one corn, so let's plant that here. We got one carrot, so let's plant that here. Now, the different crops actually have different benefits, and if you can get corn, potatoes, and mute fruit, I believe you can craft things that scrap into adhesive at the cooking station. So it can be good to set up your crops in a way that help you. So vegetable starch is corn, 3 mute fruit, 1 purified water, and 3 tato. And then you can get vegetable starch, which you can see scraps into 5 adhesive. So that's very helpful for getting a lot of adhesive. Let's see how much food we've got set up here. We've got 4. It's not quite enough. Another place we might check is the aid tab here. Nope, we didn't get any food there either. Okay, so we're short on food. What is this?
Just find a nice spot of ground and plant whatever you've got.
Let's see. We want to assign people to farming. That might help as well. It looks like there's enough for 4. So if I look at this, I can see requires. It's green, which means someone's already working that one. Someone's working that one. Someone's working that one. That one. That one. That one. And that one. So this is all being used, which means we don't need to do anything with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe we have 8 total, which is why we've got we've only got 4 food. Sometimes if we trade with them, look, let's see if he's got food. He doesn't have food. Let's see if Mama Murphy's got food. Sometimes settlers will have food. Oh, she doesn't let us trade her inventory. Okay, how about you? Are you going to let us trade, or are you just going to be annoying?
Can we trade a few things?
Nope, he doesn't have any food.
Please, just... I need to be alone right now.
Yeah?
Well, we're kind of low on food. So, one place we can go to get food is actually nearby. I didn't want to have to go there. But it's actually a good place to start getting food anyway. It's right down here. It's called Abernathy Farm. If we go back to Red Rocket, we can go to Abernathy Farm. We were so close to having enough food. Wow, this has gone 2 hours and 47 minutes. You guys making it? You guys getting through this? I know this is really long form, but a lot of people request these kind of full walkthrough style videos. So if this isn't something that's your cup of tea, that's totally fine. But I'm hoping that some people get some benefit from this. So if you got some benefit from this and you've been watching along, let me know in the comments that you're keeping up here. You haven't just been skipping around. So the water tower's here, the one we saw earlier. Now, if we continue on, we can see this other big tower along with a building here. And this is Abernathy Farm. And Abernathy Farm is a potential settlement. They want you to do a quest before they become a settlement. However, they also have all these crops here. And I'm just going to grab their Tatos. Give me your Tatos. I'm not even going to talk to anybody. I'm just going to grab the Tatos. Tato, Tato, Tato. Tato, Tato, Tato. And this is one of the earliest sources of just a massive amount of food that we can use for setting up our settlement. Give me your Tatos. Give me your Tatos. Okay. Now, if we go to the back, we also see that there are some melons back here as well. I don't really want the melons. You can actually make a little bit of money with these melons because for some reason the farmer here will buy melons from you. So if I take these melons and then plant them in Sanctuary and grow a bunch and then bring them back over, she'll give us money, but it's a neat little trick. You can do it if you want. I don't think it's necessary for what I'm doing. I just want to get enough food planted to get rolling here. It's good to have a variety of different foods. So like I said, you can start, using it to make adhesive. You can try other recipes as well. For example, I believe Tato and corn and dirty water make a vegetable soup that you can use, especially on survival mode if you play survival. Okay, tato. Never gets old, right? That sound of the idiot savant going on. Okay, that's plenty. Now we've got plenty of... Hey, Mama Murphy. She's like hammering on the wall. Assign her to food instead. And now we've got enough food. Hey, we can turn in this quest. Trashcan Carla still hanging out here.
Now, this place is starting to feel like home. Now that we can grow our own food, I think we can really make a go with this. Trouble is, what we need is to get some...
Okay, so now he wants us to build defenses, and I actually just did something that I didn't mention how to do, so I'll do it again. So, if I go to the defenses, the first thing I'll see are guard posts. Now, if I put a guard post down, it's not going to increase my defense. My defense is still 0. It says requires, and then a person, and it's red. That means I need to assign someone to this. So if I go to Sturgis, and I go to command, for me it's enter, and then I point to this and I press enter here to assign, you see my defense just went up to 2. So every one of these guard things I make are worth 2 defense. These are not very efficient in terms of settlers. I mean, if you think about it, you get 2 defense for 1 settler. So you're essentially giving up half of the benefit by assigning the settler there. So you would have to assign every other settler to defense in order to make sure you have enough defense to cover everybody. That's another thing is all these things, you need at least 1 per person, except for power. You want 1 food per person, which we have 10 now. We want 1 water, we have 13. We want 1 bed, we have 11. And we need 1 defense in order to get that out of the red. And by having everything out of the red, it will generally make our settlers happier. And the happier the settlers are, the faster we can recruit more settlers. So for defense, instead of using those terrible guard posts, it's much better to use turrets. And if I put this turret here, wow, we're pretty low on circuitry actually. We'll drop this down, and now our defense is up to 7, and we didn't have to assign a settler to it. So much, much better. We're using our build stuff instead of settlers as the resource, and we're getting a lot more defense out of it. So now we can go talk again to Sturgis.
Sturgis.
Thanks for doing that. We'll all sleep better at night knowing we have some defenses set up. It's been a long road. But yeah, I think this is it. Home. Feels good.
And Sturgis is very happy that we set up this sanctuary.
My door's always open to you. Windows too. Some of the walls actually come to think of it. I guess I better get back to it. Take care now.
Hey, we got the Idiot Savant boost. It's not a very big quest, but, you know, with Idiot Savant, we get a good chunk of experience. Wow, way more than I expected. Holy cow, almost an entire level. These Idiot Savant is a lot of fun. It's kind of a gambly thing, but the fact that we can save scum it and make it... So, the way Idiot Savant works versus intelligence, if you level a full intelligence character with like 10 base intelligence, and you level an Idiot Savant character like on separate games, and you just do the same exact quest, same exact content, if you don't ever save scum, the average is going to be almost the same between the two. Low intelligence with Idiot Savant versus high intelligence without Idiot Savant, their experience levels are going to be pretty close. However, if you do save scumming on quest turn-ins, you're going to get a lot more experience out of Idiot Savant. You're going to get a much higher level than you would with a high intelligence build. So generally, like I said, depending on how you want to build your character, either choose high intelligence or Idiot Savant. You can do both to really maximize your experience, but it's not worth the investment at all. Everyone always complains when I recommend one or the other. They say you do both. Unless you're really going for a min-maxing build that takes a long time to get going, you probably shouldn't. Okay. Now, what do I need? So I want to recruit more settlers. The way I can recruit more settlers is in the power tab. If I go to miscellaneous, I have this settlement recruitment radio beacon. Unfortunately, I don't have any circuitry. What I can do, if I'm missing something specific, I can press Q on my keyboard, and you see how the magnifying glass appears next to circuitry. That means I'm tagging it for search. That means that if I find junk in the wild, it's going to be glowing, indicating that this has circuitry. Additionally, when I go to the inventory of a junk vendor,
Back again?
like Carla,
Business?
she is going, I'm going to be able to see the pieces that actually have circuitry, if she has any. So I'm scrolling, I'm looking. Okay, she's got a shipment of circuitry. That's way too expensive. Hopefully she has something else. Okay, telephone. So telephones have circuitry. I'll buy all 3 of these telephones. Why not? Now I got 3 telephones, and now I have enough circuitry to not only build this, but I want to build one more defense thing, because I don't like just having one there. But first I'll drop this down. So I'm going to put it right near my power thing here. Now, do you remember how much power the water purifier took? It took 2. This takes 1, and this provides 3. That means that I can provide this power either from here or from anywhere in the connection, from here to here. And I won't have any issues with power because this 3 covered both of them. And now I have a radio or a recruitment beacon. I haven't shown you the radio yet. That added this settlement recruitment beacon, which is going to play some stuff to try to recruit settlers. See if it does anything. It's supposed to be playing something. Oh, I turned the radio down. That's right, in my settings, because I didn't want the radio accidentally playing. Sorry, but it'll play like music, and it'll say like, come here, Minutemen will help you, that kind of stuff, to try to get people to come. Now, when you put one of these down, you should instantly get 2 new settlers. I'm not sure if it works here because we have 5 already, but we should pretty quickly get 2 new settlers, and we can do whatever we want with them as far as how we assign them and stuff. Another thing in the settlement system is we'll notice that all of these crops that have people assigned to them, eventually they'll start growing stuff, and I can pick these.
Growing well.
I can pick all the ones that grew. These Tatos haven't grown yet, but they will. This razor grain grew. Now I can replant it myself. I can replant the same stuff. So I could plant this carrot that I just picked. I can plant this corn that I just picked. I can plant the gourds that I just picked. I can plant whatever I want. Razor grain I just picked. I'm only going to put these here. And that lets me like double my crops each time if I want to try to keep growing stuff. Another thing is, right now we have 13 water for 6 people, and we have 11 food for 6 people. What will happen is any food and water that's not consumed will go into our workbench under the aid tab. And it takes a little while, but it'll pop up there. So in our case, we just have 2 purified water, which was left over from before. I guess the new food hasn't gone there yet, and not all of the water went there. But always check your aid tab and see if you've got some extra goodies in there. You can sell this purified water for quite a bit. And that's actually a really powerful way to make money. You'll create a whole bunch of purified water sources. You'll create a bunch of these, or you'll create a bunch of the in the water ones like we did, and then you'll be able to sell the extra stuff and make a lot of extra money that way. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. There's a new settler. So there's one of our 2 new settlers one new settler that came. So I can assign them to whatever I want. In order to get more settlers, you need to make sure the settlers you have stuff to do. So if you can't find anything for them to do, you can create these scavenging stations, which were in resources miscellaneous, and assign them to those. And they'll just try to scavenge junk, and the junk will be added to your workbench. It just gives them something to do. Since I don't have anything else for you to do, they'll just start scavenging junk, and that's totally fine. We could build another one down here in Red Rocket and start getting settlers there. And we're going to have the quests we do with Preston are going to get more settlements. And if you are really into settlement building, you really enjoy that, you definitely want to make a different character. The character you're going to want to make will start with at least 6 in charisma. And the reason is you'll have this local leader perk, which will allow you to establish supply lines between your settlements. So you'll be able to connect a supply line between Red Rocket and Sanctuary, and then you'll be able to share resources. If Red Rocket needs extra water, it'll be able to take from Sanctuary. If Sanctuary needs extra food, it'll be able to take from Red Rocket. And most importantly, you'll have access to the components for building. So if I have a whole bunch of building materials in Sanctuary and I have a supply line set up to Red Rocket, I can build whatever I want based on the junk I have in Sanctuary. So local leader, if you're a settlement builder, this is a vital perk to have. It's not necessary if you're doing it casually, but if you really want to go all out, you want local leader. Another perk, if you're really into settlement building, is strong back. It increases carry weight. But especially at this point, when you're over encumbered, you'll be able to use action points to run. So if I over encumber myself, let's say I go to my stash and I do take all. This is super scary. I'm going to do take all. I'm going to take everything out of my workshop. Now I'm over encumbered. Now I'm walking everywhere. And it's super slow and it sucks and I can't fast travel. If I try to fast travel, I'm over encumbered. It'll say you're carrying too much and can't fast travel. However, with this strong back perk, if I go to level 1, I just get 25 carry weight. Level 2, 50 carry weight. Level 3, when over encumbered, you can use action points to run. So I can still run. It'll just drain my action points like I'm sprinting. Level 4, when over encumbered, you can fast travel. That's even bigger. Now, if I go somewhere and I pick up way too much stuff, I can still fast travel back to Sanctuary and drop off all the junk. That way I'm not wasting anything. So these two are probably the two most important aspects for settlement building, I would say. Other than that, I feel like I covered a lot of very important stuff for getting started. We did a few quests. From here, your next quest is we can either continue on with Preston and the Minutemen, and we can go to this settlement over here and start helping them. Or we can continue trying to find our son in Diamond City, which is all the way down here. So it's quite a journey. You'll probably encounter a lot of stuff along the way. Anyway, I've been talking way too long. It's 3 hours now, and my voice is completely shot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful for new players. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything. Feel free to add comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.